across the market of choice.
My dad came to live with us last month, and it's going pretty well.
I feel like I never have time for myself.
With him being around more, it really lets us catch up on things.
His memory isn't what it used to be.
We get up and we have coffee.
He usually wakes up at 4:30.
Then we go for a walk.
He needs lots of my attention.
I do need to keep an eye on his medications, though. That's important.
Sometimes I feel like a pharmacist.
I'd say John and the kids are adjusting pretty well.
They honestly have no idea what I'm going through.
It can be a little challenging.
Help.
But so far, so good.
I could really use just a little help.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers for advice, tips, and support. Together, let's help each other better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stock index futures are extending their losses, with the S&P 500 trading at its lowest in more than 3 weeks after the jobs report showed employers in April added the fewest number of workers in 7 months. American employers created 160,000 jobs in April, trailing the 200,000 that economists had been estimating beforehand. Meanwhile, the jobless rate stayed at 5% compared with the 4.9% that was projected. Elsewhere, crude oil is declining this morning. It's down just over 1% at $43.83 a barrel. Oil is on track for its first weekly decline in more than a month. And among stock moving on corporate news this morning is Square, plunging 19% in pre-market trading on concerns about financing for its small business customer loan program, a service that had been viewed as a growth area for the digital payments company. S&P futures down 12 points, Dow futures down 86. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey, how about a Mother's Day gift of a new bed, a mattress, huh? I mean, if you could do it, if you won the lottery and you could, come up with something like that, that would be tops for like her entire world. Her career as a mom, you wouldn't be able to top it. Yeah, it's kind of appreciated when, somebody makes a card or makes something, from the heart, the handcrafted. But a bed, a really good bed, a great deal on a bed.
Just tell your mom if you have one that you made it yourself.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Or,
I made it myself.
Or just do an experience, together. Just take her and go have a Tesla, a siesta at a sleep train. Because I think experiences, too, are pretty up there on the list.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I would agree.
Make a whole event out of it? Mattress price war is going on now. If you need
it's cheaper than taking her out to dinner.
To head there, because they're talking about $400 off. If you like to save money and put that maybe into jammies or something aesthetically pleasing for your bedroom, you're saving that on Beauty Rest and Posturepedic. Or if you're dreaming of Tempur-Pedic and thinking about, okay, what's the hype about Tempur? Well, 3 years interest-free financing. That's no hype. That's no money down. Even on the Tempur HD model, which you won't find anywhere else. An approved credit with up to 36 equal monthly payments required.
So head on in at Sleep Train, Albany, Corvallis, Eugene, and Springfield, and tell them Bill and Rob from the Wake Up Call sent you. Please.
The Wake Up Call on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
Talking about the events this weekend. Don't forget about Mother's Day on Sunday. I feel like probably 98% of the fellas listening are like, oh, yeah, I got to do something for Mom. I'll wait till tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Weather going to be warm today and tomorrow. If you have outdoor activity, still warm enough to get out there and do stuff, take a walk or do something enjoyable, but you won't be sweating profusely. About 65 for the high. So might even be, perfect day, perfection to get on the motorcycle. If Mom has a motorcycle, you can just throw her the keys and the helmet. And
I won't be doing that this year.
You won't be taking the bike out?
No, I won't be throwing the keys to Mom. say, "Here, Mom, take the bike out." That won't be happening this year, or any other year.
Do you want to expand on that?
Well, yeah.
Hey, you brought it up.
Mom. Well, yeah, she passed away in November. That's the one thing. It's sort of like, God, what is Mother's Day going to be like without me running around at the last minute going, what kind of plant was it she said she wanted? She always, you'd ask her, well, is there anything you want? I'd really like to have fill in the blank. Whether it be like some sort of garden thing, like, a beefsteak tomato plant, or whether it be, some type of lily or whatever. Usually it was, oh, God, yeah, I forgot to pick that up. What do I do?
Now, would you take her out to eat, or would you make something for her at the house?
Yeah, it depended. Depended on what, just kind of depended on the day, what was going on.
That's one thing about,
so you
try to go to any restaurant. Even your fast food restaurants are packed.
Yeah. So maybe what I'll do is just go down to some greenhouse or something and wander around aimlessly like I used to.
Just go up and
wait a minute. Is that? I don't think that's what she wants.
See, you could use this.
Why?
You could go up to, just to older ladies and go up and give them hugs and say, "I'm sorry, I need that maternal."
That would
embrace.
Okay. Now it's taking a turn for the creepy.
Well,
that's creepy.
It.
No, that's
you're
creepy.
changing it. It's
No,
a beautiful exchange, and maybe they need a hug too. It could be a win-win situation.
Yeah, it could be,
and
potentially
a local nursery is loving it because you're buying a bunch of plants. I'll take a plant. KPNW. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes.
You took it straight to the creepy, Rob.
Say what?
You took it straight to the creepy. What's up?
What's wrong with hugs?
Yeah.
This country needs more hugs.
Right. Okay, I lost my mom last year.
I'm sorry.
I agree with him. I'll go and wander around a nursery, but I'm not going up to no strange women and saying, "Hey, can I have a hug?"
Yeah, that does kind of reek of neediness, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all have a great day.
Hey, you too,
thanks, you
man.
too.
See, I wouldn't mind if his phone call was a part of the 6:30 segment and we could schedule it. I would love that. You heard the chat yesterday. It was classic. All right. So any updates on the Donald Boy, the newscast? You think somebody
famous,
somebody important was coming? Holy cow!
Well, it's changing everything down to, keep in mind, this is all happening during rush hour. So between 4 and 7, actually 4 and 6 typically when people are trying to, and on a Friday at that, when people are trying to get wherever it is that they're going so that they cannot be here, it's going to be a mess.
I guess because they're having the Twilight meet at Hayward Field, maybe they thought Matthew Knight wouldn't be a good selection.
I don't.
There's more people. I
think no.
What's the max? 5,000 at Lane Event Center?
I think it's easier to cordon off. If you think about it, the entire fairgrounds is fenced, so it's going to be easier if you're trying to control crowds. And you want to keep them away from, getting too close to the building, blocking the doorways, potential problems like that. It's much easier to have an event center like the Lane Event Center where you can keep everybody that's, don't have tickets behind the fence and quite a ways away from the building. And the folks that don't have tickets are probably primarily the ones that are going to show up, not all of them, but primarily going to be the ones that want to, protest and cry and do whatever it is that they're going to do.
Cry?
Oh yeah, remember the kids at the college that were all upset and hurt because the word Trump showed up on the steps of their college. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah,
and they were all, "Oh, we're hurt. It makes us feel unsafe." And so yeah, you're going to have all these people that are out there crying because evil Trump is here.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you can look out the window. Beautiful start to the day. Going to be a little bit of a cloud cover there with the sunshine, but a high near 80 expected. So there you go. You've been warned. Happy Friday. 50 degrees from the Widmer Brothers Studios. It's KPNW with the Wake Up Call.
Brad's Cartoons in Springfield has arrived. The same great car, ATV, and marine audio hub in Eugene has come to Springfield. Brad's Cartoons is the place to go for speakers, head units, subs, amplifiers, DVD players, and security systems. Professional custom installs on site. Brad's Cartoons, 7th and Blair in Eugene and 38th and Main in Springfield. Stay tuned.
Spring into camping at the RV Corral. New Winnebago trailers from $16,995. New Hideout trailers from $14,995. And the new Cougars from only $21,995. Check out Lane County's best selection of Winnebago Class A's and C's. Allegro by Tiffin, the Sunseeker lineup. And now RV Corral is the new dealer for Fleetwood Motorhomes. New or used toy hauler, trailer, fifth wheel, diesel or gas. Think award-winning RV Corral. Highway 99 or RVCorral.com. Why go anywhere else?
Hi, Jerry, Shop Talk.
Hey, in your tool department, why does Jerry's carry so many brands of cordless tools?
Good question. Let's drill down.
Okay.
It's all about selection. We carry a huge range of cordless tools in both do-it-yourself and professional grade.
Cool.
So you can carry just what you need at guaranteed low prices.
Well, that hits the right chord with me.
Great.
I need a cordless hammer.
Okay. Well, we have cordless nails here, too.
I got plenty of those.
Keep District Attorney Patty Perlow fighting to protect you. District Attorney Patty Perlow is fair and honest. Before becoming District Attorney, Patty Perlow's tenacity put in prison a former law enforcement deputy who had raped his teenage daughter. As District Attorney, Patty Perlow fights crime and saves taxpayers' money by winning grants to safeguard U of O students, to enforce child support decisions, and to protect victims and witnesses. That's why District Attorney Patty Perlow has won support across the political spectrum, including the Safety and Justice Action Fund, the Lane County Peace Officers Association, the Eugene Police Employees Association, and Sheriff Byron Trapp.
I'm Lane County Sheriff Byron Trapp. I need Patty Perlow in the District Attorney's office to continue her important work for our community and law enforcement.
Paid for by Keep District Attorney Patty Perlow Committee.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad!
Oh, come on! This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Good morning. If you're headed out that door in the next few minutes, we have mostly cloudy skies out there. Temps right now are in the mid to upper 40s with light winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10. I am tracking a few light sprinkles on the radar, but I don't expect any real accumulation. Now, as we move through the day, high pressure will start to move into the area. That'll give us partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Highs much warmer, shooting into the upper 70s, if not low 80s out there. Be prepared for a warm afternoon. Now, we are tracking storms late this afternoon across the Cascades, but I don't expect them to be able to reach us here in the valley. Most of the energy will be contained to the east side of the mountains. As we move into your weekend, we're looking at mostly sunny skies and warm temps through your Saturday, but a weak cold front will bring cooler temps and partly cloudy skies back to the region on Sunday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation, the NBC 16 Weather Center, hoping you have a fantastic Friday.
I'm proud to call myself their number one listener.
The Wake Up Call with Holloway in London.
All right, sweethearts, what are you waiting for?
On News Radio 1120. KPNW.
20 away from 75. News Radio 1120 KPNW. Even the tweet, the happy Cinco de Mayo, happy treat, I'm eating a taco bowl, gets polarized and just sent over the top. Did you see the Trump tweet?
No.
He was eating a a Taco Bell, a taco bowl, and people were talking about how even the taco bowl had a wall around it because it was in a kind of a square plate / serving dish.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a picture that is underneath stuff, but you just see the head of Marla Maples, and it was a bikini shot on his desk. So he's getting acknowledged for that. The I Love Hispanics comment, and even the serving dish.
Well, you can expect that's going to be the case throughout. It'll be interesting to see how the media turns on him when the primaries are officially over. Because right now, let's be honest, they love him. And they love him because he's ratings. All right? If you look at the ratings numbers for the debates over this last year compared to 4 years ago and before that, things are through the roof. Particularly and we're not talking the Democratic debates, we're talking about the Republican debates. Why? Because of Trump.
Why would you say that would stop?
Oh,
in general?
It's going to be because you're going to see they've been kind of goading him on. I mean, they are the media has gone out of its way to afford him opportunities to be incendiary, and doing so with just kind of here and just throwing him fresh meat. Well, now that their girl Hillary, once they get done with this, once their girl is crowned, then it'll be interesting to see how and if they turn on the ratings boy, and how they'll turn, because they will. It's bound to come. Anyway, if you haven't heard, somebody writes, it's off the email. Oh, Michael. Hi, Michael. Says, I wonder what Oregon politicians will get FaceTime with, and he's referring to him as the toxic blob. Who will get FaceTime with him? I doubt you will see any Democrat whatsoever that's going to be there with Trump. I don't think you'll see any, which means just about every politician in the state won't be there. Anyway, that said, well, shall we say elected official? Because I don't think there is a Republican elected official in the state of Oregon. Anyway, that said, at least not in state government. Jess Burns joins us on the Wake Up Call. He's a staff writer for The Hill, one of my favorite online news sources. He's with us this morning. And, well, first off, good morning, Jess. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so now that Trump is the presumptive nominee or the presumptive winner of the Republican primary, a lot of people are asking, okay, so who is he going to put together as a cabinet? Who is going to be the person or persons that are on the short list as VP, etc.? So let's start there. I mean, this is your gig. This is your beat. What's the word that you're hearing as to who is on that VP short list, at least?
Well, there are a lot of names that are floating around, and there's certainly, some shifting, it seems, even within, the Trump camp as far as who it might be. Some recent names that have floated out, Marco Rubio, who, of course, they battled pretty extensively during the primary, but they've spoken a few times since Rubio dropped out, we know. Trump has also mentioned John Kasich as someone who would be a potential pick, although Kasich has, said there's zero chance he was interested, and we haven't seen any signal that has changed. He just dropped out on Wednesday, so it wouldn't come for a while anyway. But those are probably some of the leading ones. Chris Christie, as far as another rival. But Trump, could look to, a governor from some swing state as a potential pick. He said yesterday he won't announce it until the convention, presumably. So, there's a little bit of time to kind of still, hone down the list and vet some of these candidates.
Okay, so is there anybody that's on the list that you're hearing about that it's not, necessarily somebody to be expected? I mean, I think probably everybody or most folks could say, yeah, he's probably considering some of the folks he's been running against for the last year or 8 months. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Is there anybody name who keeps coming up, though, that doesn't fall into that category of the obvious choice?
Well, there's no, there is no obvious choice for Trump because he can go a few different directions. He could go, I think the big one right now is there's still a lot of concern among Republicans and especially among some conservatives in the party who want to see him pick someone to show that he kind of gets the party, he gets what the GOP is all about. So there is some pressure on him to pick someone who's maybe more conservative. So whether that's a unity ticket of Rubio or even Ted Cruz down the road, it's hard.
Oh, come on, Lion Ted. How do
it's hard to see that happen.
Yeah.
But Republicans, they want someone that they have trusted thus far. But at the
who
same
do
time,
Republicans trust?
It's hard to find someone who they trust that Trump hasn't, gone to bat repeatedly against. So, but we do know at least that he wants to go more the political route with the VP pick. So that kind of rules out a lot of, business types who, could potentially be floated. So a lot of these, former rivals would be, the first that come to mind as far as serious, potential picks.
All right. What about cabinet picks? Is there a possibility he's going to be naming any of those pre-convention since he wants to wait until the convention to name a VP?
Yeah, he could name some. He's indicated that he might do that. A lot of people that have endorsed him and come out to campaign with him, Sarah Palin, Chris Christie. Palin has indicated in the past that she, is interested in the energy department, and Christie, is a former prosecutor, so maybe, attorney general or something like that. Those kind of picks and naming those before the convention, that will send a signal to Republicans to, try to rally around him and to kind of imagine him as president if he kind of lays out who's going to be in his cabinet.
So do you think that mainstream average Republicans would buy into Sarah Palin being, say, the Secretary of Energy?
Well, mainstream, most predictions have been totally wrong so far. And, obviously Trump is kind of the opposite of what anyone would expect as far as, even rising to this point. So I think, nothing would be surprising as far as who he would appoint to certain positions. Ben Carson, could be Health and Human Services Secretary. Those kind of picks and appointments would be, to be expected, I guess, at this point.
Has Newt Gingrich's name come up at all in any of these discussions?
His name has come up, and it's even come up as far as VP pick, which is kind of hard to imagine. Because Trump, he still is prides himself on being this outsider candidate, being someone who is not part of the establishment. So he has to kind of walk a tight line of he wants someone with experience, but someone who maybe is not considered part of the quote-unquote establishment. So, so Gingrich, we know that he has at least, gone to, been a surrogate of sorts for Trump and tried to kind of rally Republicans around him now that he's the presumptive nominee. But as far as, a more official role that he might play, we haven't heard, exactly if that's a possibility.
Probably one of the most important roles within a president's cabinet and the president's inner circle is obviously the chief of staff. Any rumors out there or any rumblings as to who would potentially be the chief of staff?
Well, he has kind of shifted a bit as far as his top aides, even in the campaign's final weeks there. So his campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, you expect him to maybe transition into some type of role, and then also Paul Manafort, the veteran GOP strategist, who's been managing a lot of the the delegate, getting delegates and kind of shoring up support. Those have all, been at the top. But there's some kind of senior Republicans also, elected officials like Jeff Sessions, senator from Alabama, who's the chair of Trump's national security group. And, those kind of people, they may, as the campaign progresses and as opportunities, arise for some of these senior positions like chief of staff, it would make sense to maybe look around to some of the people that have been with Trump so far.
All right. Hey, Jess, thanks for joining us on the Wake Up Call this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Jess Hill. He's one of the staff writers with The Hill and on the political beat following Donald Trump.
Interesting that Paul Ryan's name didn't come up as a possible V.
Yeah, go figure that.
Yeah.
Figure. Why would that be? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Doesn't make any sense to me. Shall we all pause for a little sip of a nice hot beverage? I think I will, out of my official Coca-Cola, or my official Cocoa Puffs mug.
All right, we'll pause briefly and get you the top of the hour news, a little bit of cloud cover, and
coffee.
80 for the high. Sunny, beautiful tomorrow. Mother's Day, mid-60s. Currently 52 at KPNW.
The best window sale in Oregon just keeps getting better. Discount Windows Vinyl 99 sale. Thousands of overstock windows on site, including Ply Gem windows. Factory first, overstock windows, just $99 each. Or less. Why less, Vic? $99 is an amazing deal. Lee, the lowest price on overstock is one reason we're Discount Windows. You're good, and so is this sale.
Discount Windows, Highway 99, Junction City, open 7 days a week.
As the days grow warmer, Northwest berries grow plumper and sweeter, and Sherry's celebrates the season with Berry Fest Northwest with the best recipes of the season. Try the fresh berry stuffed cinnamon-sation, summer berry chicken salad, and one-of-a-kind berry pie shakes. Or go berry crazy with a very berry strawberry chocolate ganache pie, or a slice of our original banana split pie. The days may be getting longer, but your time is growing short. So hurry in and get your berry fix at Sherry's Cafe and Pies.
I'm Cameron Walker. News doesn't take a break on the weekends. At KVAL News, we bring you first, fair, and accurate reporting from around Western Oregon and wherever news happens. Join me this weekend along with Sabrina Reese with your latest forecast and Preston Highfield with all the latest scores and highlights from the world of sports. When news happens in Western Oregon, more people turn to KVAL News than any other station. Coverage you can count on from KVAL News. First, fair, accurate.
Get the news when you want it from KVAL.com. Log on now for the latest news, straight from the KVAL newsroom. Get streaming video, news stories, weather forecast, and sports highlights, plus the latest weather and driving conditions from across Oregon. Or share your photos and videos on UNews. No other website gives you more. First, fair, accurate information when you want it from KVAL.com. This is your wake-up call.
Bring it down a couple of notches, because you're a little too happy.
Holloway in London on News Radio 1120, KPNW.
I'm Gary Conley with today's Money Minute. Mining the vast amounts of information being collected and stored on nearly everything has come to be called big data, and it's affecting many aspects of your life. Amazon makes recommendations for additional purchases of books and music, depending on what you just bought, or sends you an email suggesting that you might want to purchase X based on the same information. LL Bean was able to call me by name even though I was phoning for the very first time and had never contacted them before, because they have a database of phone numbers. Convenient? Yes, but also disconcerting. Now, it's obvious that Amazon's huge database is worth something because the company earns billions of dollars a year. In fact, it's been estimated that this personalized technology generates as much as a third of its sales. But if you look at Amazon's balance sheet, or Google's, you will find no value ascribed to the database. The hardware, software, intellectual property, and research expenses are all accounted for, but there's no good way to value the data itself, so for accounting purposes, it's simply ignored, even though without it, Amazon would be a shadow of itself, and Google might not even exist. Here's the nugget. Accounting rules describe all kinds of things and situations, but so far no one has come up with a way to value certain kinds of intangible property, like Amazon's database or Coca-Cola's brand. I'm Gary Conley, and that's today's Money Minute.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Do you have 30 minutes a week to make a difference in the life of a Eugene student? Join the Eugene Middle School Lunchtime Mentor Program. Be a friend. Support a middle schooler this year. Visit 4j.lane.edu/volunteers for more information.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stocks are lower in early trading as investors assess a disappointing jobs report. Right now, the Dow is down 58 points at 17,602. The S&P 500 is lower by 7 or 0.3% at 2043. And the NASDAQ is down 14 at 4702. The April jobs report showed a fewer than projected 160,000 jobs created, well short of the 200,000 that economists were expecting. The unemployment rate remained at 5%. And economists were predicting a decline. Retailers cut payrolls by the most in 2 years, and construction companies added the fewest positions. Today's jobs report adds to speculation that the Federal Reserve will stick with a gradual pace of tightening monetary policy as the central bank weighs when next to raise interest rates. Traders are pricing in just a 10% chance of an increase in June, and February 2017 is now the first month with at least even odds for an increase. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
A few months ago, I told you about the homeless problem in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Today, here's another news article. Homelessness growing in L.A. County as more live in cars and tents. Now, according to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, there are almost 47,000 homeless people on any given night, a 6% increase over the last year. The report says that most of the chronically homeless are people with mental illness and substance abuse problems. Many are African American. Homeless encampments are spreading from downtown L.A. into the suburbs. Now, the mayor blames a housing shortage, which is a laugh, and a staggering mental health crisis. He acknowledges that many veterans are living on the streets. Since 2013, there's been a 55% increase in the number of homeless women. People living in tents, cars, or camps has increased 20% since last year. But here's the thing. Governor Moonbeam and the Democrats who run the state don't seem too concerned about it. And neither does the drive-by media, because you see, it's an election year, and Democrats are in power. So the homeless, kind of invisibly, sweep them out of the way. Hillary Clinton was recently in Los Angeles at George Clooney's mansion for a fundraiser. Couples ponied up $353,000 for the privilege of sitting with her. I wonder if donors noticed any homeless encampments on the way in or out. Or were the homeless as invisible to Hillary and her crowd as they are to all the other California Democrats? Hey folks, Memorial Day is coming up. It's our chance to honor those who have served our country. And my good friends at Mahindra Tractors are stepping up for the third year in a row with the Mahindra Military Salute giveaway. This year is special because Mahindra is giving away their all-new utility vehicle, the Impact XTV 750S Camo Edition. The Mahindra Impact will go to someone special who is active duty or a veteran of the U.S. military. To nominate somebody, go to rushlimbaugh.com. Look for the Mahindra Military Salute giveaway. My thanks to Mahindra, makers of the world's #1 selling tractor, and God bless all of you who protect our freedom.
No purchase necessary. Void in Alaska, Hawaii, and where prohibited. Open to contiguous U.S. residents 18 and over who are active duty or a veteran of the U.S. military. Sweepstakes ends at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time, May 29, 2016.
Take advantage of rock-bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at All Seasons Equipment in Eugene.
We report, you decide. This is News Radio 1120 KPNW, Eugene, Springfield, USA.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. It's the slowest job growth this year.
160,000 Americans found new work in April, the fewest in 7 months, and less than economists expected, though the unemployment rate held steady at 5%. The reaction on Wall Street? A little bit negative. Fox Business Network's Nicole Petalides live at the New York Stock Exchange.
In talking with traders, Dave, we're certainly seeing a cautionary tone, and they say that the Fed is looking at this very closely, and it means no interest rate hikes, at least anytime soon. And the household survey, when you break it down, in fact, was even worse than expected. So that also puts pressure on the markets. The Dow right now down 30 at 17,630. The NASDAQ down 15, and the S&P 500 down 4. As far as sectors, energy and materials leading the way. Healthcare, utilities under pressure. Yelp is gaining about 16%. GoPro down about 6%. So plenty of movers to watch as well.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Now that Donald Trump's in line to be the Republican nominee, he's still trying to unite the GOP. And Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, House Speaker Paul Ryan is feeling ambivalent about Trump being the presumptive nominee.
He needs to be congratulated for an enormous accomplishment.
But Speaker Ryan tells CNN he's not ready to endorse him yet. At the same time, he's calling on the Republican Party to unite. Trump told Fox and Friends he's surprised by Ryan's remarks and said he's brought millions into the party.
The Republican Party is the talk of the world because there's no place and no party that's, increasing in scope like we have.
Trump says he's planning to meet with Ryan next week. Dave.
Rachel, as a wildfire keeps burning out of control in Canada, officials are assessing if it's safe enough to move thousands already evacuated from Fort McMurray to a new place, planning a massive highway convoy.
My house is in town. It may be gone. It may not be. But it's okay. We're all alive, and it can all be replaced.
There are a lot of babies named Emma and Noah again. Those names repeat winners on the Social Security Administration's list of most popular baby names last year. Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
The best real estate market in a decade. Less homes for sale, coupled with low interest rates, get you the top dollar for your house in today's market.
So if you have to sell so that you can buy and you don't want to be without a place, you need to call Eric and Jeanette Harpole with Keller Williams Realty. Really, they're expert negotiators. They specialize in working with their clients that need to sell so they can buy their next home. And if you want to sell within your time frame and get the most money possible, these are the folks.
Obviously, you know that not all agents are the same. In fact, Eric, Jeanette, and their team outsell all other agents in Lane County. The reason? Better marketing, top-notch negotiating, their exclusive enhanced listing program, and unlike other agents, they offer flexible commissions. Hey, if you're not happy, fire them. You are in control.
You can get free information about selling your house this spring or summer. Give them a call, 541-286-3030. That's 541-286-3030. Or just go to harpolehomes.com in Lane or Douglas County.
There's more fighting yet again around Syria's embattled city of Aleppo. Government forces battling rebels who activists say have seized a strategic village just outside Aleppo. This the day after deadly airstrikes being condemned. Fox's Simon Owens live in our European bureau.
Dave, airstrikes hitting a camp in Syria, housing people displaced by the war. At least 28 people were killed, according to a monitoring group, and another 50 wounded. Attention now turning to who is responsible. The Syrian and Russian militaries denying any involvement. Russia speculating that the militant group Nusra Front could be to blame. The strikes are being condemned around the world. The White House saying there's no justification. The French Foreign Ministry saying the attacks may constitute a war crime. And the UN's human rights chief calling it, quote, a particularly despicable and calculated crime. Dave?
Simon, Pope Francis has just delivered his version of an I Have a Dream speech.
Pope Francis told EU leaders at the Vatican for the Charlemagne Prize ceremony today that the idea of Europe is something new in history, but Europe needs to return to the solidarity present at its inception. I have a dream of a new Europe, where being a refugee is not a crime, he said, where distribution of resources is not philanthropy, but a moral obligation. Pope Francis has made the migrant crisis one of the cornerstones of his papacy, taking in 12 Syrian refugees last month. In Rome, Courtney Walsh, Fox News.
There was a lot of drama in the basketball and hockey playoffs. All three games last night went to overtime.
Here's Johnson leaning in. Dragic is open, lets it fly, hits the three, and ties the game.
That basket was in the final seconds, tied it for the Heat, sent the game with the Raptors to OT, but Miami fell short in the end. Toronto went on to win 96-92 on ESPN to tie that NBA series at a game apiece. On the ice, Dallas beat St. Louis. Nashville edged San Jose in triple overtime. Those series are now tied 2-2. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
7:05, News Radio 1120 KPNW on a pretty good-looking Friday. I mean, Fridays always kind of have like a little bit of a shine to them, but there's actually a shine out there. Partly cloudy and 80 degrees for the high today. Sunny and 82 tomorrow. Currently 57 at 1120 KPNW. If you see any traffic snafus, any snarls out there that the other 14 should be made aware of, please be a responsible road ranger out there and communicate that fact. You can call it in 541-45 KPNW or an email if you don't feel like talking to us, 1120kpnw at gmail.com. I'm going to assume that there's nothing to talk about out there. Some of the we'll call it the internet is a little sluggish today. So relying on you to let us know, to communicate. Before we leave, those hot soccer tickets, get you ready for late July at Autzen Stadium as international soccer flavors our fine community. Also, we'll talk about an event that's before that in June, the Sportstown Awards with Jordan Kent. Johnny Cruz talking about this weekend. Even more immediate. And news.
If I can get it out, I'm right in the middle of sneeze denial. You ever have that when you're on that cusp of, okay, I'm about ready to let go, and then
you go either way.
Sneeze denial. Just do it. Anyway, so there's this guy. He's coming to town, and everybody's making a big deal about it. We'll tell you who it is, where that person's going to be, and what is going to mean to your life this afternoon. It is, if you're in the Eugene area, particularly, I mean, considering when he's coming to town, the commute could get kind of weird. That said, we'll also take a look at, finally, the DA's office has confirmed that a body that was found back in February is the body of a missing Springfield woman. We'll take a look there. We'll tell you about also a conviction in a rather disturbing case in Lane County. And also, remember the bombing in Woodburn? Well, court has affirmed that was the right verdict. We'll tell you what the verdict was if you don't remember and what it means going forward. Those stories and more coming up, brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones, here on KPNW.
Think about all the different types of food we have in the U.S. There's Cajun and Tex-Mex, Northwest cuisine, Southern homestyle, and so on, and each one has a different flair, different staples, and unique dishes. Mexican food is the same way. At Burrito Amigos, you're going to get what's called Baja style. It comes from the northwest corner of Mexico, and a lot of the recipes at Burrito Amigos are family recipes, like the Baja fish tacos with cabbage, white sauce, and real cod. Normally, shrimp burritos at most places are like any other burrito, just with shrimp instead of, say, beef. Well, at Burrito Amigos, their shrimp burritos are also Baja style with the cabbage and the white sauce. You can always taste the difference at Burrito Amigos. And by the way, speaking of Baja style, stop by Burrito Amigos on 24th and Hilliard or on Highway 99 and get coconut shrimp tacos with mango pico de gallo. For the record, yep, tried them, loved them, needed seconds. Always good, always different, always friendly. Burrito Amigos in Eugene and Springfield. I'm Bill London, and I approve this message.
Ramjack has your foundation solution. Ramjack can fix that.
CCB 146906.
Warmer weather is coming. You may be ready, but is your vehicle? Midlane Truck and Equipment Repair can perform a complete inspection of your cooling and air conditioning system to ensure you and your vehicle stay cool when it gets hot out. Offering bumper-to-bumper service and repair on trucks, RVs, autos, and trailers, including general maintenance, in-frame overhauls, welding, fabricating, liftgate, and reefer repair. Call Midlane Truck and Equipment Repair now to beat the heat.
Do you have 30 minutes a week to make a difference in the life of a Eugene middle school student? Middle school can be challenging. Some students feel isolated. Many students come from low-income families, making it harder to fit in at school. You can make a difference. Be a part of the Eugene Middle School Lunchtime Mentor Program this school year. Visit 4j.lane.edu/volunteers for more information. Kids are waiting.
Local news, local people. The wake-up call on News Radio 1120. KPNW.
Good morning.
Let's look at the news brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones, featuring great breakfast burritos and fresh brewed locally roasted coffee for a tasty start to your morning. Here's what's going on. Donald Trump is bringing his campaign to Oregon for the first time. Brad Ford says he's going to be at a rally early this evening in Eugene.
Republican Donald Trump is focusing his campaign on conservative voters, but Eugene is home to 24,000 University of Oregon college students, many of whom are left-leaning liberals.
I love this gesture of coming to Eugene. It's awesome.
Republican Sam Carpenter is running against 3 other Republicans to defeat Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden. Carpenter has also endorsed Trump.
We're going to have a private meeting, and that'll be fun. It'll be the first time I've met him.
Carpenter is a businessman from Bend, and he says it's a smart move by Trump to hold the rally in Eugene, where he can focus on the issues of his campaign directly in front of voters who oppose him. I'm Brad Ford, KPNW.
Look for a change of routine in Eugene at Trump's visit, or when Trump visits tonight, and the Lane Events Convention Center. The event itself starts at 7 p.m. The doors open at 4. Now expect heavy traffic in the fairgrounds area today. The event center parking is going to be available in the main parking lot only. The southern and eastern lots are going to be completely locked down. General public access to the fairgrounds will be limited to eastbound traffic from 13th and Chambers or Polk.
Well, we'll block traffic intersections so that the motorcade can move swiftly, but I don't anticipate that we'll close any roads. If we have to close any streets, those will be spontaneous decisions based on what we're experiencing.
Eugene Police Chief Pete Kern says security is going to be tight, so don't bring any items that would not be allowed through screening at an airport checkpoint. Although maybe you can bring small bottles of liquid. No large bags will be allowed. Small bags like purses are going to be thoroughly searched. Cameras are permitted. Signs are not. The security plan is fairly complex. It involves not only the Secret Service, but the Eugene Police, the Lane County Sheriff's Office, federal agencies, Eugene Springfield Fire, Eugene Emergency Management, as well as the Oregon State Police, the Portland Police Bureau, etc. Outside the venue, the police presence will be fairly high. They're going to set up a First Amendment or free speech area, which is going to be outside of the rented areas. No details have been given about a specific number of officers or security personnel covering the activities there. As the event gets closer, though, more details may be released today.
So with this particular candidate, there has been some violence around their campaign visits. And so we've taken that into account, and we'll have a policing presence that is intended and designed to deter that kind of thing from happening.
Currently, they don't know how much the visit is expected to cost, but it is not going to be cheap.
We've got a pretty good idea of what we can afford to do with the budget that we have in the police department right now, and I have every confidence that we'll stay within our annual budget. But it's an unanticipated expense, and we keep room in our spending in order to afford this kind of thing. So
the campaign is paying one cost, about $9,000, to rent part of the fairgrounds under the contract the group signed with Lane County government. Former President Bill Clinton was also in Oregon yesterday. It's his second trip to campaign for his wife, Hillary. He was in Bend and Portland. He says Hillary will work to raise the minimum wage, etc.
The only thing that matters is whether people are better off when you quit than when you started, whether children and young people have a brighter future, and whether we're coming together instead of being torn apart. I am telling you, she is the best change maker I've ever known.
He says Hillary Clinton's experience as a senator and secretary of state gives her the skills necessary to be prez. Less than 200 people showed up for the event in Bend. The Portland event also drew a surprisingly small crowd. Well, her family held her funeral April 2nd in Eugene, and now they're getting some semblance of peace. The Lane County District Attorney's Office have identified the remains of Courtney Maureen Bundy, a missing 24-year-old mother of 2 from Springfield. The body was found near Wolf Creek Road southwest of Crow on a road belonging to the BLM. The remains were found in early February.
We did not know or could not confirm who the remains belonged to. That was complicated because we did not have a source of DNA for her. The remains were in such a condition that obviously fingerprints were not available to us.
Lane County Chief Deputy District Attorney Eric Hasselman says the body was primarily identified through dental records. The family said 2 men were detained at the time of the discovery in connection with her death, but authorities are not commenting on any of those details. Bundy was originally reported missing to Springfield police in July, just prior to her 25th birthday. Well, very few new details are available dealing with an incident that occurred at Alton Baker Park that left 1 man dead Wednesday morning. What is known is that Eugene police were called to the scene and contacted a severely injured 25-year-old Alex Davenport. Detective Jed McGuire of VPD details how the rest of that event unfolded.
Due to the immediate concern for his life, he was taken to a local hospital for treatment. About an hour after Eugene police got the call, he was pronounced deceased at the hospital.
Other reports mark Davenport as being a possible transient and known criminal with charges ranging from meth possession to possession of marijuana and criminal trespass. Those assertions are not being confirmed by the Eugene Police Department. Detective McGuire does ask if you have any information regarding the incident to contact them. Well, a man Lane County Circuit Court Judge Lauren Holland has called a dangerous predator was sentenced to 29 years and 2 months in prison. 60-year-old Ray Butler of Cresswell, pleaded guilty to 6 counts of sexual abuse in the first degree. In February, a 23-year-old Cresswell woman told authorities she'd been molested for 6 years as a child by Butler. Butler was arrested in March. Detectives discovered this crime was not his first. He was also convicted in Curry County in 1985 of sexually abusing a child that was related to him by marriage and only received, for some reason, probation. Lane County Chief Deputy District Attorney Eric Hasselman said that those 2 crimes that we've already told you about are literally just the tip of the iceberg.
During the course of that investigation, detectives obtained an audio recording of Mr. Butler in which he acknowledged he had other victims as well as those 2 mentioned victims.
If you have any information regarding Butler and his activities with kids, contact EPD. It's been 6 years since 2 men were convicted of a bank bombing in Woodburn that killed 2 police officers. Brad Ford says the state's highest court reaffirmed the convictions and the sentences.
The Oregon Supreme Court has unanimously affirmed their convictions and death sentences of aggravated murder against Bruce Turnage and his son Joshua Turnage. The bombing happened in 2008. Woodburn Police Captain Thomas Tennant and Oregon State Police Trooper William Hakeem were killed, and Woodburn Police Chief Scott Russell and bank employee Lori Perquette were injured by the explosion. The original convictions and death sentences were handed down by a unanimous jury verdict in December of 2010. Oregon law required the Supreme Court to review the verdicts and sentences for legal errors. Brad Ford, KPNW.
Keep in mind that Kate Brown and other Get Soft on Crime Oregon leaders don't like the death sentence, even though Oregon voters have affirmed it not once, but twice. So will they ever get the death penalty? Likely not. One of the defendants in the armed occupation of the National Wildlife Refuge in Oregon earlier this year apologized for video rants he made that were widely seen during the standoff. Sean Anderson told a federal judge he was embarrassed and ashamed by the videos from the occupation of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge. In one, Anderson told supporters if police stopped them on their way to the refuge, they should kill them. Anderson spoke at the urging of U.S. District Judge Robert Jones, who said he wanted to hear directly from the defendant before reviewing a magistrate judge's order calling for Anderson's release before trial. The judge ruled that Anderson could return to Riggins, Idaho. Jones urged Idaho County Sheriff Doug Giddings, who wrote a letter to the court in support of Anderson, to monitor his release. The Oregon Supreme Court voted 5-2 to uphold a $3 million cap on damages injured people can collect in lawsuits against the state or its employees, even though they've been grossly negligent. The case was brought by a Klamath Falls couple who sued OHSU after a botched surgery in 2009 that nearly killed a 9-month-old boy. A jury awarded the child more than $12 million. Thursday's ruling means he'll only get $3 million. Family attorney David Miller says the boy's mother is devastated by the ruling because the Portland jury found originally that the boy's past and future medical expenses will hit at least $6 million, and he deserved the rest for pain and suffering. The cap established by the legislature is intended to protect cities, school districts, and other taxpayer-supported organizations from massive payouts, even if individuals with those groups are largely guilty of bad decision-making. New FDA rules ban the sale of e-cigarettes, pipe tobacco, hookah tobacco, and premium cigars to people under 18. Karen Gerard with the Oregon Health Authority says those products are made to be tasty and attractive to kids.
What we've seen over the past few years is an explosion in youth use of e-cigarettes and also other tobacco products like hookah and little cigars.
Between 2013 and 2015, other tobacco product use among 8th graders doubled and increased 27% among 11th graders. Gerard says the new rules are a good first step, but more needs to be done to, quote, stop kids from smoking. And the body of a missing 22-year-old woman has been found near Depot Bay. Katie Rowe disappeared Sunday, April 17th at around 2 a.m. in the morning after leaving a restaurant. Officials say her body was consistent with having been in the water since the time of her disappearance. There were no obvious signs of foul play. The medical examiner's office is conducting an official autopsy. Now, police at the same time say the vehicle of a man who disappeared in Depot Bay the same night and around the same time as Katie Rowe was found in another state. 22-year-old Linfield College student Owen Woods was last seen in Depot Bay 3:30 in the morning on the same date, April 17th. Police said Thursday his car was found a significant distance from Oregon within a few days after he was reported missing. Police have also said his disappearance is not believed to be connected to Katie Rowe. At 7:22, this look at the news brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones on KPNW.
Wake Up Call Sports on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
Raptors down by 7 with 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. They were missing their free throws. 12 free throws, shot 4 of 18 from the three-point line. It's amazing that they came back to win. Their stars Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, 16 of 46 for the field. Raptors thanking Jonas Valanciunas, who threw in 11 in the fourth quarter as they get a home win, 96-92, tie up the series at a game apiece. By the way, Blazers-Warriors at home tomorrow. Blazers down 2-0. Coach Frank Vogel is available and no doubt will show up on a coaching staff somewhere in the NBA. Just not the Indiana Pacers. Team president Larry Bird said it was time for a new voice and showed true to form that he thinks coaches should not have long tenure in 5.5 seasons. Vogel led the Pacers to the playoffs 5 times, but his most impressive performance was as an 8th grader when he spun a basketball on his finger while he brushed his teeth on a Stupid Human Tricks segment Letterman show. The NCAA Golf Championships are in Eugene, and it would be great if both teams, host teams, were there. Oregon women trying to do what they can. In Baton Rouge, they're in 3rd place heading into today's round. Top 6 out of 18 will get to take part in the championships happening here in Eugene at the Country Club May 20th. NBA Combine, only former Duck Elgin Cook got an invitation. Dylan Brooks, Tyler Dorsey did not. And the Oregon football team got a commit from 3-star running back C.J. Verdell, spurning Zona, Cal, Utah, Wisconsin, and other schools. And happy 85th birthday to Willie Mays. Wake Up Call Sports brought to you by Max Muscle. Stop in and try the Max Pro Protein Powder lineup. Chocolate malt, blueberry, or strawberry banana. I'm Franklin across from Market of Choice. News time, 7:24.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Good morning. If you're headed out that door in the next few minutes, we have mostly cloudy skies out there. Temps right now are in the mid to upper 40s with light winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10. I am tracking a few light sprinkles on the radar, but I don't expect any real accumulation. Now, as we move through the day, high pressure will start to move into the area. That'll give us partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Highs much warmer, shooting into the upper 70s, if not low 80s out there. Be prepared for a warm afternoon. Now, we are tracking storms late this afternoon across the Cascades, but I don't expect them to be able to reach us here in the valley. Most of the energy will be contained to the east side of the mountains. As we move into your weekend, we're looking at mostly sunny skies and warm temps through your Saturday, but a weak cold front will bring cooler temps and partly cloudy skies back to the region on Sunday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation, the NBC 16 Weather Center, hoping you have a fantastic Friday.
Ramjack leads the way in foundation repair. Protect your investment. Get your free in-home evaluation at ramjackwest.com. Check out our exceptional online reviews, then choose Ramjack.
CCB 146906.
Where's your finish line? Set a goal, make a plan, get results. Max Muscle offers customized nutrition plans by a certified nutritionist. Learn what and how much food to eat, when to eat, and how it relates to your body. Stop into Max Muscle today, Franklin Boulevard, across from the Market of Choice.
You are a business owner.
I am a business owner.
You want to grow.
That's true. I do want to grow my business.
But you need help.
Especially with how I'm going to grow my business.
So you call U.S. Bank.
Good idea. They'll know how.
Our custom solutions give you what you need to expand.
That's just what I need to expand.
Add a production line.
Wow. Can you believe that production line?
Give you operating capital.
Can't operate without operating capital.
And help your business grow even more.
I think I'm going to need a bigger office.
With a business banker there by your side every step of the way.
Maybe I should start another business.
Visit your local U.S. Bank branch or usbank.com/quickloan today. U.S. Bank, the power of possible. Equal housing lender. Credit products offered by U.S. Bank National Association and are subject to normal credit approval and program guidelines. See your banker for details. Deposit products offered by U.S. Bank National Association, member FDIC.
Hi, everybody. This is Don Essig with today's Motivational Minute, brought to you by Builders Electric, providing smart electrical service since 1960. What is it in life that really motivates you? What are the things that really turn you on? Well, the late but great teacher and presenter Madeline Hunter once told her audience, "People and a stimulating examination of ideas charge my batteries." To answer those questions, my guess is that most of us are motivated by other people, and certainly by the exchange of very interesting ideas. I never sat in one of Madeline's seminars that she in some way didn't motivate me in my thinking. And look around today for those who charge your batteries and charge them up. This is Don Essig with today's Motivational Minute. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, have a positive day.
Today's Motivational Minute was sponsored by the folks at Builders Electric, a company that can handle all your electrical needs at home or your business with smart, positive service. That's Builders Electric.
Brad's Car Tunes in Springfield has arrived. The same great car, ATV, and marine audio hub in Eugene has come to Springfield. Brad's Car Tunes is the place to go for speakers, head units, subs, amplifiers, DVD players, and security systems. Professional custom installs on site. Brad's Car Tunes, 7th and Blair in Eugene and 38th and Main in Springfield. Stay tuned.
Broadcasting for the betterment of Western Oregon. Yeah, at least that's what we tell the FCC. It's the Wake Up Call coming at you on 1120 KPNW.
728. Beautiful and 61 degrees coming up in June. We got the Sportstown Awards happening June 2nd, Valley River Inn. The MC is Jordan Kent, and he joins us now. Morning, Jordan.
Good morning. How are you doing?
So out of curiosity, as you're getting ready to MC this event in June, give us a little an idea of your MC style and technique. What do you go? Do you go for the laughs? Do you go for, hey, I've been there. I'm an athlete. What's your strategy?
It's a combination of several things. It's the experience factor, saying I've been there, I've been an athlete, I can relate with a lot of the people that we're going to be honoring tonight. Also some humor dashed in with some self-deprecation, and that usually tends to win the audience over pretty well.
Self-deprecation is always a safe bet, always a good place to go. So before we talk about the different categories and about this special night, I wanted to get your take, because Liz Brenner, we've been talking about it all week, kind of bringing her career to an end over the weekend. From one multi-sport to athlete to another, what's your take on her career and what she's done there while she's been with the Ducks?
I think it's been absolutely incredible what she's been able to do. And I did my 3 sports, and she did 4, obviously, which is even more incredible. But for her to do it at such a high level, I believe she was on a volleyball team that was highly ranked in the NCAA, and we've known what softball's been able to do, and the women's track and field team as well, and then what basketball did these last couple seasons with their improvement. And the fact that she played such a major role on every single team is something that you really just have to tip your hat to. And so very, very proud of her and what she was able to accomplish when she was at school here. And I think it just sends a very positive message to a lot of athletes that wonder, am I capable of doing more than one sport in college? Yes, you are. And there's a lot of value in the relationships and experiences you have. And I think what Liz will learn is when she gets done, there's something very special about all the teammates that you're able to connect with during your time in Oregon. And she's going to really appreciate those relationships when she graduates, and she'll have so much that she can relate with all these other great athletes.
Do you have a favorite moment or a performance that stands out and that you remember that Liz accomplished?
I think for me, I believe there was one day where she had a softball game the day before and then came out and threw the javelin. And for me, it was really just being able to do the double in spring of softball and track was what impressed me the most. And it's hard enough to do 3 sports during the year, but then you add another one during the same season, and balancing that with school and with class. I know how that workload goes, and that was probably what impressed me the most, was when she was able to handle that track and softball double all in the same spring.
And we haven't even talked about sand volleyball, which just ended last weekend or the weekend before, so a bunch of sports. What as you think about your career doing multiple sports, what were the highlights? What were the tough spots? Is there anything that stands out? Because to do one sport at that division, Division I, is incredible. To do 3 is kind of, unbelievable.
It was certainly a blur as I look back and try to remember it. I just know that football was such a unique sport in that it really did dominate the calendar as far as the amount of time dedicated to do it. But for me, I'll never forget my first touchdown catch I had with the Ducks at Washington State my junior year. It really sort of helped validate to me that I belonged on this football team, and I was able to do something to help this team out after all the coaches and players that really welcomed me with open arms when I tried to do this crazy pickup football for the first time ever as a junior. I do remember, though, having to be very patient with the fact that I just simply didn't have the time to put into every sport that I wanted to during the year. And so when you got into track season specifically, and you were still 2, 3, 4 weeks behind the rest of your competition, it was frustrating because you knew you just needed more time, and you necessarily weren't in peak shape when it came time for the conference meet. But as the season finally wrapped up, you were finally able to kind of play catch-up. But I just remember, yes, it would be nice to have 6 or 8 more months out of the year to focus on each one of these sports, but you certainly didn't have that luxury as you were trying to juggle everything else.
Talking to Jordan Kent, MC for the Sportstown Award. So that being said, was there any regrets as far as either a sport that you maybe wished you would have kind of put down and had more time to concentrate on football or, say, track and field, or another sport that maybe you didn't get to perform in that you wanted to?
There's no regrets, even as far as saying I wish I would have picked up football earlier. You just never know what happens. You never know if you would have suffered an injury in high school or early on in your college career. So to look back and to say that you're able to start on the football team, start on the basketball team, be a part of 2 school record relay teams at Oregon that are still at the top, that's pretty special to me. And then to have that opportunity to play in the NFL afterwards, you really couldn't ask for more. And so I don't look back and think, if only I could have done this or if I did that. I feel like I maximized my opportunity the most that I could. And now I look at my post-career and just the fact that because I did all these different sports, it's given me a background to broadcast and analyze them. And just those relationships I have with all of my former teammates, being able to run into them and just relive all those great memories, you really have built a really unique and interesting network of athletes that you all have this shared common experience as well. So I wouldn't change a thing if I could go back in time.
First ever Sportstown Awards coming in June there to the Valley River Inn. It's kind of amazing with as athletic as we are based a community that we haven't had these before.
You know, it really is interesting. And so when they approached me about being the MC, I thought this was a great idea. And I think it's really important to celebrate a lot of the local athletes we have in Eugene. A lot of times the University of Oregon is so great, it's so big, you sometimes think it's the only aspect of sport in Eugene other than maybe some track and field, but there is so much more going on in the city and so many other great athletes and people that come together that we really do need to celebrate. So I thought this was a wonderful opportunity, and as someone that obviously has a lot to love about Eugene, I was more than happy to step in as MC.
Let's talk about some of the categories. Mascot of the Year should get some interesting nominations. Male and female student athlete of the year. Are we talking about high school and college, or what age group?
I believe it's high school, and when I look at this category, I think the great thing that they added is that you have to have a minimum GPA of 3.0, and that shows me that they're finding individuals that are making sure they take care of their business on and off the field or court or diamond or whatever surface they play on. And also that you have to have volunteered in the community at least once during the year, because when you have these great athletes that are oftentimes put up on this pedestal and you've got all the exposure in social media, you now have a platform, and what are you doing with that platform as an athlete? And I think if you can set a very positive example as someone that's responsible in the classroom, somebody that also helps out in their community and is a good citizen, then you're doing it the right way. It requires you to be more than just a good athlete. I think it's a matter of a really well-rounded person that, oh, by the way, is also a terrific athlete. And that's what I like about this category, is that they're celebrating more of what they do off the field as opposed to just the stats.
So I, like you, went to Churchill High School, had a remarkably different experience on the sports resume than you, but I had good trainers. I remember the trainers were incredible. Athletic trainers, one of those unheralded, unappreciated positions. You ask any athlete, and they'll second that opinion, and it sounds like that night they'll get a bit of that spotlight.
Oh, my gosh. I remember my high school trainer, Paul Getze, and just so much work and involved with so many athletes and there for so many athletes, because they usually don't have a whole lot of assistants underneath them. They're the trainer for everybody throughout the entire year. And you're right, they provide an incredible amount of support for these athletes to make sure that they're able to go out there and perform at their highest level. But they also are someone that you remember almost more fondly than some of your coaches, because you're seeing them year after year after year, as opposed to different coaches that you're getting as you go through the ranks of freshman, JV, and varsity. So I think it's great that they honor these trainers. As far as what makes a great trainer, I don't know if they're going to judge it based upon ankle stability when you tape an ankle or whatnot, but I think it's great that there will be some recognition for these trainers that work so hard.
Sustainable Event of the Year, Athlete with Heart, and the Inspirational Coach of the Year, kind of rounding out the categories. All right, what else can you tell us? What else do you know about that night, June 2nd, that you can tell people?
Well, as I mentioned, June 2nd at Valley River Inn in Eugene. Tickets are still available as well, too, so make sure that you check out the Sports Town Award. It's going to be presented by Register Guard, and I'm excited to be the MC. I know it's our first year, and I think that we're going to definitely make something that's going to last a long time, a really great experience, and something the community's really going to enjoy as we celebrate some of the finest athletes and supportive people in this town.
Tickets available May 15th, coming up in about a week or so. All right. Hey, Jordan, thank you for the time. Good luck with the event, and keep in touch.
Hey, my pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stocks are just about sitting on the flat line. The Dow up 6 points, the Nasdaq down 4, and the S&P down a fraction after Wall Street got an unpleasant surprise on jobs. Employers were scaling back hiring last month as the pace fell to a 7-month low, 160,000 new jobs added in April. The forecast was for a gain of 200,000 jobs. The unemployment rate didn't budge, holding at 5% when a small decline had been forecast, and the steady jobless rate had nothing to do with more people looking for work. The labor participation rate actually slipped for the first time in 7 months. Wall Street is worried the weak jobs number confirms other reports pointing to a slowdown in the U.S. economy, but it could also keep the Fed on the sidelines on interest rates. JCPenney, which has been in recovery mode for years now, isn't wasting time responding to unexpectedly slow April sales. The New York Post reports Penney's is cutting hours worked and freezing overtime. I'm Adrienne Mitchell, Bloomberg Radio.
Pacific Continental Bank is proud to call the Eugene-Springfield area home for more than 40 years. As your local banker, partner, and neighbor, we are committed to the health and sustainability of your business and our community. We know it takes more than a loan or deposit to help you succeed. It takes people who know you, your business, and your community. Who says we can't be more than a bank? Pacific Continental Bank, the right bank. Learn more at therightbank.com. Member FDIC.
For the all-new John Deere riding mowers, tractors, and side-by-sides, think Ramsey Weight.
Make tracks to Ramsey Weight for John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers.
There's nothing like a John Deere Gator utility vehicle. From hard-working and trail-ready to the ultimate in work capability. Get into a Gator now at Ramsey Weight.
Don't just dream about it, wait for it.
Ramsey Weight.
Open Monday through Saturday. Franklin Boulevard, Glenwood. Online at RamseyWeight.com.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids, healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran. My victory was finding a career I can be proud of and supporting my family.
America's veterans are on their most important tour, the tour of their lives.
I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission to help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
I'm a veteran, and my victory was finishing my education.
DAV offers veterans of all generations a lifetime of support for victories great and small.
My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
My victory was getting my service dog a new best friend.
We help more than 1 million veterans every year as they face and conquer their challenges.
My victory is being able to be there for my family.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Good morning and happy Friday to you and yours. If you're headed out in the next few minutes, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies. I am showing a little bit of light fog out there. That should burn off in the next few minutes, as well as a few light sprinkles, but no real accumulation. Otherwise, temps right now look to be in the mid to upper 40s. Light winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10. Now this afternoon, we're looking at partly cloudy skies developing as high pressure starts to move in. That same high pressure will shoot these temps into the upper 70s, if not a few low 80s out there. Winds will also pick up in the afternoon out of the north at 15 to 25. We may see a few gusts up to 30. We're also going to see a few isolated thunderstorms east of the Cascades, but I don't expect them to be able to reach us here in the valley. As we move into your weekend, Saturday looks warm and sunny as the high pressure will move back into the area. But for Sunday, a cold front knocks the temps back into the mid to low 60s, as well as partly cloudy skies. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation, the NBC 16 Weather Center, hoping you have a fantastic day.
No, the only thing that's missing from any of the beds that you're going to get at Sleep Train is some sort of device where you can just sort of take it anywhere with you. It would be kind of like your rolling Tempur-Pedic, because it's a heck of a lot more comfortable, and it would be there at work, you know, with the adjustable base. You're kind of setting it up for the chair. Maybe it would be right here in the studio, and I just set it up and have the mic there. Just be driving it around. That would be awesome. That would make them even better. And I know, it's hard to believe. Could a Tempur-Pedic really get any better? That's the only way. I don't think there's any other way, unless you could get it to take you into space. And they're probably working on that as we speak. Actually, Tempur-Pedic did take the astronauts into space because the memory foam was actually developed by NASA to put in those seats to help shock or help keep them from getting shocked by the G-force on takeoff. Did you know that? Didn't know that, I bet. Tempur-Pedics have been into space. Anyway, you can go see the full line of Tempur-Pedics or any of the other mattresses that you want to see, like the Beauty Rest, the Stearns & Foster, the Vera Wang. I just say that because it's fun saying Wang. Anyway, go see them at Sleep Train. Get a deal. Tell them where, Rob.
In Eugene, Springfield, Corvallis, and Salem. And tell me like this with a wake-up call. It really is your ticket to a better night's sleep. Sleep Train.
Give us 15 minutes, and we'll give you something to talk about at work. The Wake Up Call with Holloway in London on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
News Radio 1120 KPNW. Well, you may be wondering, hey, John Cruz wasn't here last week, but now he's back this week. Yes, and he's here to tell us all about his lost weekend after retiring after being a Wenatchee police officer for many, 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 many years. And he joins us on the Wake Up Call this morning. The host of Northwestern Outdoors, none other than John Cruz, burly guy. Hey, John.
Good morning.
Did you have a lost weekend after you retired? Was it one of those, did you wake up on the following Tuesday morning and go, what just happened the last 4 or 5 days? Did you have one of those, John? Did you?
Wasn't quite like that. Had my headphones on, was listening to Wang Chung, and just had to throw that in there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fun. It's fun saying Wang, isn't it? Go ahead and say it again, John.
It rolls up everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Very good, John.
All right. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Anything to keep us from talking about what we're here for. Anyway, well, congratulations on, we didn't get to tell you last week because you decided you had to do something more important since you just retired.
Well, there's not a whole lot of cell service in Diamond Lake, Oregon. Just throwing that out there. It's a little bit spotty.
Oh, so you were actually in the neighborhood.
We established that. Remember, he was going
to. If you want to call Southern Oregon your Greater Lakes neighborhood, yes, I suppose I was.
Well, you had to go by Eugene to get there.
No, I actually went by Bend, straight shot down the Highway 97.
Okay, so you came down the back way.
I did.
All right. So did you have a good time at Diamond Lake?
Wonderful time. The weather was a little less than cooperative, but caught some really nice trout. Caught a 20-inch trout, 21-inch trout. Was thrilled beyond belief to do that.
And how about your time at Summer Lake, the lodge there?
Oh, my gosh. If you have not been to the Oregon Outback, and I know you have, Bill, but the lodge at Summer Lake, the wildlife area, fantastic wildlife viewing, especially if you're a bird watcher, but this little hotel restaurant with cabins, they've got a little 3-acre pond where you can literally catch bass from your back porch. The restaurant, you can get a 12-ounce sirloin steak, baked potato, fresh-baked home bread, salad, mixed veggies, and a glass of wine for $24.
Yeah. It's it's worth the drive almost to go to that little lodge out there.
Love that place. Love the place. Love the people. Can't say enough good things about it.
How much does it cost to spend the night there?
It's way under $100. I mean, we kind of had a deal here where I was putting together a radio show for them. So they actually comped me 2 nights there. But it's very affordable. I think the cabins are over $100, but the hotel rooms, which are very nice, very comfortable, well under $100. And like I said, the meals are just dirt cheap.
Yeah, that whole area over there. Did you have a chance to either take in the Shiawakan or head over to Anna Reservoir and do a little fishing over there?
I tried for those bass at Anna Reservoir, and it's a big mystery how to catch them. Even the locals say it's a tough thing to do. I ended up catching a couple of trout, but no bass. Did go to the Shiawakan, but it was running high just because of the runoff right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a tip from the store owner at Silver Lake, and he says, don't go to the Shiawakan. Go to Duncan Reservoir. And I go, where's that? And he's like, it's just southeast of town. I said, I'll find it on the map. He says, no, you won't find it on the map. So he gave me directions, and I literally had this lake entirely to myself. There was a BLM campground there, very nice, no hookups or anything like that, but beautiful place in the high desert. Got some nice trout up to 16 inches, tons of wildlife there, and just, the no light pollution at all. The stars were just as bright as you can imagine.
So, okay, so that was, who was that told you about Duncan Reservoir?
The store owner in Silver Lake. If you go to Silver Lake,
Right.
Oregon, there's three things. There's the Cowboy Dinner Tree Restaurant, which is open on the weekends. There's the store, and there's the post office. And that's pretty much it in Silver Lake at this point.
Huh. You know, now you got me on Duncan Reservoir. That's one I haven't heard.
It's a small little place that's about 10 miles southeast of Silver Lake, and it's, you basically take a couple dirt roads to get there, and once you get there, you're going to probably be by yourself. But it's very scenic. Nice place to hike around. High desert. You got juniper and a little bit of ponderosa, and quite a bit of bird life there, and the fishing's not bad.
God, I love that area over there so much. I do.
You and me both.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to say, what do I like better? Do I like mountain lakes, the ocean, or the Oregon Outback? Between the three, I mean, it's just like, we're blessed here in Oregon. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the show. What do you have coming up this weekend?
Well, being on the road and all, we actually did do a rebroadcast, so we're taking you back to Grand Teton National Park, and we'll talk about exploring the park. We'll talk about fishing, hiking, wildlife watching, and even rafting.
All right, sounds good. Things to do this weekend. Gee, are you going to send us to Diamond Lake? I wonder. Are you going to say, maybe you ought to go to Diamond Lake? Or maybe you ought to go over to the Oregon Outback? What are you going to tell us to do this weekend, John?
Those would be two things. And by the way,
how did I know?
I had never been to the Diamond Lake Resort before. I love that place. It's got everything you need. It's got hotel rooms. It's got tons of cabins. It's got a nice marina with boat rentals. Again, beautiful lake, beautiful mountains, and you're right there by Crater Lake National Park. It's got a restaurant, it's got a lounge, and it's not, high class by any means. It's kind of blue collar, but I just love that place, and the fishing's decent too.
All right. So, I don't know, we already talked about the Oregon Outback. Anything else you want to say about that?
Paisley, Oregon. I recorded a piece with the forest ranger down there, and Paisley's got a grand total of 200 people there. They even have a low-power FM radio station run by the high school students.
Which is the weirdest format in the world, but you can pick it up pretty much like from Silver Lake all the way down to Lakeview.
I know, and it's actually a really good station. They got great music.
I know, everything from about 1954 up to present.
Yes.
And from country to top 40 to rock, it is the weirdest format in the world, but it's fun to listen to.
It was a ton of fun to listen to, but if you go to Paisley, there's a place called the Pioneer Saloon. It's been in operation since the 1880s. They actually took the bar. It was built in Boston, took it around Cape Horn, went to Portland, shipped it over, and you'll be drinking beers off the same bar that was manufactured in Boston in the 1880s if you go there.
All right. Anything else, maybe a little closer to home?
If you want to go razor clamming, it's still good, and you can learn the basics of it at Fort Stevens State Park Saturday or Sunday. They're offering classes at 7 a.m. Right by the Peter Iredale. And, you need to have your shellfish license and probably a bucket to transport your clams, but they'll teach you everything you need to know about digging the clams and how to go ahead and clean them and get them ready to eat.
And if you're one of those folks that have never gone clamming or razor clamming, they also remind you to bring your own gaff hook. Isn't that right, John? Isn't that right?
I don't think you're going to need a gaff hook. A shovel,
God, John,
yes. A gaff hook, no.
Play along, John. You should have just...
Next week, we go snipe hunting on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
There you go. There you go, John. That's the way to play along. No, you should have just gone, yeah, that's right. Bring your gaff hook. Make sure that you bring the gaff.
One of us has to be the voice of reason, Bill.
The gaff hook and a hammer.
Oh, you're killing me.
Anyway, well, it's good to have you back, John. Again, congratulations on the retirement. You're now a free man. You get to spend all your time now doing, the outdoor stuff. And when does your national show start?
June 4th. And thank you very much for carrying it, too.
Yep. And we will be airing that on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock. Right now, we're just airing a repeat of the Northwestern Outdoors. We run Saturday mornings from 6 to 7 o'clock. We're going to put the National Outdoors share there on Sunday mornings for folks to listen to. So you get it'll be John on the weekends on KPNW, and that's a good thing. John?
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm basking in the glory of you saying such nice things about me.
Yeah, well, we just couldn't find anything else to put there. So.
You know who else says nice things about my mom? Is a huge John Cruise fan.
I'm sorry I said that at all. Okay, I will just grovel and say thank you for having me on the air.
Yeah, but Rob was just giving you a compliment. Rob's mom listens to you religiously. She loves your show.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I've seen the emails.
Wow. I thought Vicki and Alan Guest were like the only two people who listen to me on your show.
Good one, John.
That's awesome.
Hey, have a good weekend and have fun Monday not getting up.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. You two have a great weekend.
Okay, take care, Johnny.
All right, coming up on 8 o'clock, 7:55. Beautiful right now. It's really nice out there and 58 degrees, KPNW.
Ladies, mark your calendars for May 26th. Enjoy an evening of fun, fashion, and friends at the Head to Toe Women's Expo, brought to you by the Corvallis Clinic. Unwind, shop, and learn from a variety of featured boutiques, home goods shops, healthcare centers, and local businesses. Get free health tips and screenings in the Corvallis Clinic Corner. The Head to Toe Women's Expo, May 26th at the OSU Alumni Center. Sponsored by the Lord Gillott Home Team with Keller Williams Mid-Willamette, Samaritan Plastic Surgery Clinic, OSU Alumni Center, and this station.
Turn back the clock and engage your imagination as Radio Redux reprises radio days of yesteryear. Performing at the Holt Center on May 20th and 22nd, Radio Redux trains its critically acclaimed retro-modern radio storytelling talents on a tribute to fun detectives like Sherlock Holmes, Nick Carter, Sam Spade, and Joe Friday. Done like a 1940s radio show, Radio Redux is a unique theatrical experience that will delight the entire family. Get your tickets today for the May 20th or 22nd performance of Radio Redux's Radio Days.
Spring is here and it's time to dust off those clubs and get out to Sandpines. They've got a new Easy-Go cart fleet with USB ports, a stellar roaming beverage cart service, and their 2016 Lynx carts are on sale now. And don't forget about the Sandpines Grill and Lounge, where the food is as good as the golf. Sandpines, the jewel of Central Oregon coastal golf.
I won't mention any names, but their initials are
Holloway in London. The Wake Up Call on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
I'm Gary Conley with today's Money Minute. Mining the vast amounts of information being collected and stored on nearly everything has come to be called big data, and it's affecting many aspects of your life. Amazon makes recommendations for additional purchases of books and music, depending on what you just bought, or sends you an email suggesting that you might want to purchase X based on the same information. LL Bean was able to call me by name even though I was phoning for the very first time and had never contacted them before, because they have a database of phone numbers. Convenient? Yes, but also disconcerting. Now, it's obvious that Amazon's huge database is worth something because the company earns billions of dollars a year. In fact, it's been estimated that this personalized technology generates as much as a third of its sales. But if you look at Amazon's balance sheet, or Google's, you will find no value ascribed to the database. The hardware, software, intellectual property, and research expenses are all accounted for, but there's no good way to value the data itself, so for accounting purposes it's simply ignored, even though without it Amazon would be a shadow of itself, and Google might not even exist. Here's the nugget. Accounting rules describe all kinds of things and situations, but so far no one has come up with a way to value certain kinds of intangible property, like Amazon's database or Coca-Cola's brand. I'm Gary Conley, and that's today's Money Minute.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. The Dow down 37 points, the Nasdaq down 22, and the S&P down 6 after the April jobs number came up short. 160,000 jobs were added to the U.S. economy last month. Economists surveyed by Bloomberg had forecast payrolls to grow by 200,000 in April. The unemployment rate had been forecast to slip to 4.9%. Instead, the jobless rate held steady at 5%. There are a couple of bright spots. The average wage increased 0.3% from March to April, and the underemployment rate, which tracks high-skilled workers in low-skilled jobs and part-timers who want to be full-timers, fell unexpectedly to 9.7%. Nestle wants to sell you sugary snacks and remedies for the ailments that might result. It's looking to create products based on ingredients derived from food and delivered as a snack, not a pill. So a decade from now, doctors might prescribe a Nestle shake, for example, for heart trouble. I'm Adrienne Mitchell, Bloomberg Radio.
Depend on us for breaking news from the local neighborhood to the global one. We are News Radio 1120 KPNW, Eugene, Springfield.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. In a barely growing economy, a slowdown in hiring last month. Fox's Ginny Cosola breaks down this jobs report and what it means live.
Dave, April's unemployment rate stayed the same, 5%, but the overall jobs report for last month was disappointing. The Labor Department says only 160,000 new jobs were created. Most economists were predicting more than 200,000 new jobs. And the government has also revised the February and March reports. 19,000 fewer jobs were added in those months than first reported. Reaction on Wall Street, the Dow is down 64 points. Dave?
Ginny, President Obama will react, making a statement on the economy in 1 hour. Days after protesters in Baghdad were able to breach the Iraqi city's fortified green zone, the U.S. military has sent in a platoon of Marines to bolster security at the American embassy. They arrived last night. We have an update now on the probe into Hillary Clinton using a private server while Secretary of State for her email. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The FBI has interviewed a top aide to Hillary Clinton, Uma Abedin. Fox News has confirmed that the FBI is trying to determine whether classified information was willfully transmitted on an unsecured network. The LA Times reported that the interview with Abedin took place April 5th at the FBI's field office in Washington. The interview of Abedin, who served as Clinton's deputy chief of staff, is a possible indication that the FBI's investigation might be in its final stages. Dave?
John, a super PAC backing Hillary Clinton's ready to attack Donald Trump. Priorities USA has set aside $91 million in TV ads to start next month. This as Trump dismisses speculation that he could pick a Democrat as a running mate.
No, I'm going to pick a great Republican, and we're going to have a tremendous victory. We're going to win.
He says he's going to unify the party, even though House Speaker Paul Ryan yesterday said he was not ready to support Trump. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
This tip of the week brought to you by Neurospine Institute.
If you're a smoker, you already know that quitting will save you money and help you live longer. But did you know that it can make your back feel better? Smoking restricts the flow of oxygen and other nutrients in the spinal discs, making you more vulnerable to lower back pain. Smoking also increases the risk of osteoarthritis and other joint disorders that cause chronic pain in other parts of the body and decreases your body's ability to heal itself from illness or injury. Numerous studies return the same consistent results, and the evidence holds true for men and women, regardless of age or occupation. Stop smoking and your back will thank you.
Are you living with chronic pain? The specialists at Neurospine Institute can diagnose the problem and develop a personalized treatment plan to address your symptoms. Their comprehensive services include clinical and surgical procedures, sports medicine, physical therapy, medical imaging, and pain management. Neurospine Institute's medical professionals will work closely with your primary care or referring physician to ensure that you receive the best care and treatment. They serve all of Western Oregon with 2 locations, the main campus in Eugene and their Roseburg clinic. Visit neurospinellc.com today and get your life back.
A rare display of politics in North Korea.
It is North Korea's first party congress in 36 years. Delegates discussing policy in a hall in Pyongyang. On the street outside, passers-by say they're optimistic about the outcome, echoing the official line that everything the party does is for the people. China and other nations have urged North Korea to shift focus from rocket silos to grain silos. But foreign observers say this multi-day meeting is more likely to be the coronation of Kim Jong-un, reaffirming his push for nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. In the Asia Bureau, Alistair Wanglin, Fox News.
Canadians are helping Canadians, backing up supplies like toiletries to send off to wildfire evacuees in Fort McMurray. Nancy Johnston's a volunteer in Toronto.
I just wanted to help. There's not much we can do. We feel helpless here. And there's no point being there because they have enough to deal with.
Thousands have already fled. The flames are being moved again. The fires torched 1,600 homes and buildings. A house fire in Syracuse, New York, has killed 6 people from the same family. A 7th was able to escape and is now hospitalized. A neighbor tells the Syracuse Post-Standard paper that she heard what sounded like was an explosion just before 4 o'clock this morning, and then looked out the window and saw the flames. Fright on a flight of Allegiant Airlines from the Dominican Republic to Pittsburgh, hit by severe turbulence yesterday.
First thing I saw, so that was really scary. Like when you see in the movies, when there's a crash and everyone just flies up, that's what it was like.
3 passengers were hurt, so were 4 flight attendants. The most seriously injured one hit her head on the plane's ceiling. The flight was diverted to Fort Lauderdale. The uninjured passengers were flown home later. A crowd pleaser at Cape Canaveral. SpaceX launched a satellite early this morning, and what they're cheering there is the first stage rocket booster successfully landing on a barge in the Atlantic. The private space company plans to reuse those boosters. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
All right, KPNW, hour number 3 of a Friday go-round with the Friday show in full effect. A little bit of cloud cover throughout the day, but plenty of sunshine and a high near 80. 82 tomorrow, 65 on Sunday. Currently 59 degrees at 1120 KPNW. An addendum to what John Cruz was talking about a couple minutes ago with some of the things that are going on in our vicinity. Tonight you get the Twilight Meet. If you get a hankering for some track and field, you got, of course, Liz Brenner and all the seniors, kind of their curtain call. And, of course, cross town at the Lane Event Center, you've got the Donald coming in from, was it Omaha? I'm wondering if that 7 o'clock is going to be a lofty goal. But with the time change and his flight into Eugene, about 7 o'clock is when they're thinking he's going to be taking the stage. Doors open at 4. And if you are interested in tickets, if there's any left, DonaldJTrump.com.
I kind of doubt there's any tickets left. It's not to say don't go and try. I'm just saying you may be a little bit too far on the back end of the curve to get those. But good luck
Harrisburg,
anyway.
We got our CMN pageant tomorrow. Harrisburg High will be out there raising money and checking out the talent from a few of the gentlemen out there at Harrisburg High. Looking forward to that. The Pet Parade, too. Speaking of that kind of part of the community, Pet Parade going on at 11:30 Junction City. If you want to watch it, Kim says 5th Street and Greenwood would be the best location. If you want to be in it, when you get there 11-ish and head downtown. Apparently there's signage everywhere, but you got the Pet Parade and, of course, Mother's Day festivities on Sunday. News coming up. What you working on?
Oh, well, the guy is coming to town, so we'll deal with him being here. Rob's over here doing the chicken head. What? What? Anyway, Trump's coming, so we'll tell you how it's going to affect your life if you live in the Eugene area, if you're not going. Let's see. We'll take a look at that. Oh, yeah, Bill Clinton was in. Was it amazing to you how few people showed up at the Clinton gatherings yesterday in both Portland and Bend? It was, you kind of look at it and go,
I never saw a shot of the crowd.
Yeah, you know why you didn't see shots of the crowd? Because there wasn't one. I saw him
estimated.
Well, there was under 200. They estimated under 200 in Bend, which, okay, maybe I can see that. The estimates were around maybe 200 in Portland.
That's more of a surprise.
Well, I mean, I think it kind of goes to show you just exactly the popularity of the apparent nominee for the Democrats. When, you're bringing in a president of the United States. I remember when she was running the first time against Obama back in 07, 08, and Clinton stopped in Albany. Okay, you want to talk about a conservative area, Albany. They packed that place. There was several thousand out there. I mean, standing, shoulder to shoulder, kind of packed. And he can't even draw more than a couple of hundred people in Portland? Oopsie. Anyway, that said. Anyway, so we'll be covering that story and other stuff that is important for some reason. It's brought to you by Burrito Amigos. Am I selling it enough?
Stand by for that. News time 8:09 with the Wake Up Call, KPNW. Morning.
Burrito Amigos really does do things differently. Hi, I'm Bill London, bacon addict. One of the first things I noticed about Burrito Amigos bacon burritos is that they use not one, but two types of bacon. Nicely played, burrito friends. Their beef, not the usual cheap cuts, cooked forever to make it sort of tender except for the surprise gristle wads. Burrito Amigos uses real certified tender black Angus beef, the kind you find at expensive steakhouses. That's different. The fish burritos, real cod. The taco salad's huge. Burrito Amigos menu is even different. You'll find your favorite burritos, enchiladas, tamales, and quesadillas there, but where else are you going to find yummy tacos made with yams and a spicy guacamole sauce that's different from anything you've ever tried? They even have potato tacos, which are delicious. How many burrito places even have a vegetarian menu, let alone tofu items? Burrito Amigos, happy to be different. In Eugene and Springfield, I'm Bill London, happy to vouch for the bacon and the yummy tacos.
Get set to save now at Mid-Valley Tractor, your local Kubota dealer. Take command of your lawn care needs with a new Kubota Commander zero-turn mower. Get commercial-grade performance and a full 4-year factory warranty at a price you can afford. Now during the Get Set to Save sales event, get a special introductory price of $38.99 and 0 down and 0% financing for 36 months. Now through June 30, 2016. Call toll-free 1-800-794-4992 for details about cost and terms. Great prices, great products from people you can trust. Mid-Valley Tractor on Highway 99.
The best window sale in Oregon just keeps getting better.
Discount Windows Vinyl 99 sale.
Thousands of overstock windows on site, including Ply Gem windows.
Factory first, overstock windows, just $99 each.
Or less.
Why less, Vic? $99 is an amazing deal.
Lee, the lowest prices on overstock is one reason we're Discount Windows.
You're good, and so is this sale.
Discount Windows, Highway 99, Junction City, open 7 days a week.
You'll hear it here first. This is your wake-up call on News Radio 1120. KPNW.
Good morning. And it is a beautiful morning, at least if you're looking at the weather. This look at the news brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones featuring great breakfast burritos and fresh brewed, locally roasted coffee for a tasty start to your morning. Here's what's going on. The Donald is bringing his campaign to Oregon for the very first time, and guess where he's going to be? At a rally in Eugene tonight. Brad Ford has our lead story.
Republican Donald Trump is focusing his campaign on conservative voters, but Eugene is home to 24,000 University of Oregon college students, many of whom are left-leaning liberals.
I love this gesture of coming to Eugene. It's awesome.
Republican Sam Carpenter is running against 3 other Republicans to defeat Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden. Carpenter has also endorsed Trump.
We're going to have a private meeting, and that'll be fun. It'll be the first time I've met him.
Carpenter is a businessman from Bend, and he says it's a smart move by Trump to hold the rally in Eugene where he can focus on the issues of his campaign directly in front of voters who oppose him. I'm Brad Ford, KPNW.
All right, so since he's going to be in Eugene, you can expect there's going to be a routine change this evening as Trump makes his way to the Lane Events Convention Center. So the event is scheduled to start at 7 p.m. They will open the doors at 4 p.m., and you need to be on the lookout for heavy traffic around the fairgrounds tonight. The event center parking is going to be available in the main parking lot only. The south and eastern lots are going to be completely closed. General public access to the fairgrounds is going to be limited to eastbound traffic from 13th and Chambers or Polk.
Well, we'll block traffic intersections so that the motorcade can move swiftly, but I don't anticipate that we'll close any roads. If we have to close any streets, those will be spontaneous decisions based on what we're experiencing.
Eugene Police Chief Pete Kearns also says security is going to be tight, and don't bring any items that you wouldn't be able to get through screening at an airport checkpoint. So you can only bring small bottles of liquids. No large bags are going to be allowed. Small bags, like purses, are going to be searched. Cameras will be permitted. Signs will not. The security plan is fairly complex, involving the Secret Service, Eugene Police, Lane County Sheriff's Office, a number of federal agencies, including Homeland Security, Eugene Springfield Fire, Eugene Emergency Management, as well as mutual aid from the Oregon State Police and Portland Police Bureau. Outside the venue, you will find a pretty substantial police presence as well. The First Amendment or free speech area by default is going to be outside the rented areas. No details have been given about a specific number of officers and security personnel that will be on hand, but expect a whole bunch.
So with this particular candidate, there has been some violence around their campaign visits. And so we've taken that into account, and we'll have a policing presence that is intended and designed to deter that kind of thing from happening.
Currently, they don't know how much the visit is expected to cost the local community, but it isn't going to be cheap.
We've got a pretty good idea of what we can afford to do with the budget that we have in the police department right now, and I have every confidence that we'll stay within our annual budget. But it's an unanticipated expense, and we keep room in our spending in order to afford this kind of thing. So
the campaign is paying almost $9,000 to rent the fairgrounds, according to a contract they signed with Lane County government. So, former President Bill Clinton made his second trip to Oregon to campaign for Hillary Clinton. He spoke to small crowds in Bend and Portland. He says Hillary will work to raise the minimum wage, improve opportunities for low-income Americans, and improve the economy.
The only thing that matters is whether people are better off when you quit than when you started, whether children and young people have a brighter future, and whether we're coming together instead of being torn apart. I am telling you, she is the best change maker I've ever known.
He says Hillary Clinton's experience as a senator and secretary of state gives her the necessary skills to be president. Less than 200 people showed up for the event in Bend. The Portland visit also drew a small crowd of around 200. Well, her family held her funeral April 2nd in Eugene, and now they will get at least a certain semblance of closure. The Lane County District Attorney's Office on Thursday positively identified the remains of Courtney Maureen Bundy, a 24-year-old mother of two from Springfield. Her body found near Wolf Creek Road, southwest of Crow, on a road belonging to the BLM in early February.
We did not know or could not confirm who the remains belonged to. That was complicated because we did not have a source of DNA for her. The remains were in such a condition that obviously fingerprints were not available to us.
Lane County Chief Deputy District Attorney Eric Hasselman says the body was identified through dental records. The family said that two men were detained at the time of the discovery in connection with the death, but authorities are not commenting on any of those details. Bundy was first reported missing to Springfield Police in July, right before her 25th birthday. Well, a man Lane County Circuit Court Judge Lauren Holland calls a dangerous predator was sentenced Thursday to 29 years and 2 months in prison. 60-year-old Ray Butler of Cresswell was pleaded guilty to 6 counts of sex abuse in the first degree. In February, a 23-year-old Cresswell woman told authorities she'd been molested for 6 years as a child by Butler. She was arrested in March. Detectives discovered that the crime was not his first. He was also convicted in Curry County in 1985 of sexually abusing a child related to him by marriage. In that case, he only received probation. Lane County Chief Deputy District Attorney Eric Hasselman says that those 2 crimes are just the tip of the iceberg.
In the course of that investigation, detectives obtained an audio recording of Mr. Butler in which he acknowledged he had other victims as well as those 2 mentioned victims.
If you have any further information regarding Butler's suspicious activities with children, you're encouraged to contact the DA's office. It's been 6 years since 2 men were convicted of a bank bombing in Woodburn that killed 2 officers. Brad Ford says the state's highest court reaffirmed the convictions and the sentences.
The Oregon Supreme Court has unanimously affirmed their convictions and death sentences of aggravated murder against Bruce Turnage and his son Joshua Turnage. The bombing happened in 2008. Woodburn Police Captain Thomas Tennant and Oregon State Police Trooper William Hakeem were killed, and Woodburn Police Chief Scott Russell and bank employee Lori Perquette were injured by the explosion. The original convictions and death sentences were handed down by a unanimous jury verdict in December of 2010. Oregon law required the Supreme Court to review the verdicts and sentences for legal errors. Brad Ford, KPNW.
Kate Brown and other soft on crime Oregon elected leaders don't like the death sentence, even though voters have affirmed the death penalty twice in Oregon. Kate Brown will continue to follow her predecessor John Kitzhaber's policy of no death penalties in Oregon because I say so. One of the defendants in the armed occupation of a national wildlife refuge in Oregon earlier this year has apologized for video rants he made that were widely seen during the standoff. Sean Anderson told the federal judge he was embarrassed and ashamed by the videos of the occupation of that national wildlife refuge. In one, Anderson told supporters if police stopped them on their way to the refuge, they should, quote, kill them. Anderson spoke at the urging of U.S. District Judge Robert Jones, who said he wanted to hear directly from the defendant before reviewing a magistrate judge's order calling for Anderson's release before trial. The judge ruled that Anderson could return to Riggins, Idaho. Jones urged Idaho County Sheriff Doug Giddings, who wrote a letter to the court in support of Anderson, to monitor Anderson's release. The Oregon Supreme Court voted 5-2 to uphold a $3 million cap on damages injured people can collect in lawsuits against the state or its employees. The case was brought by a Klamath Falls couple who sued OHSU after a botched surgery in 2009 that nearly killed a 9-month-old boy. A Portland jury awarded the child more than $12 million. Thursday's ruling means he'll only get $3 million. Family attorney David Miller says the boy's mother is devastated by the ruling. The Portland jury found the boy's past and future medical expenses will hit at least $6 million, and he deserved the rest for pain and suffering. The cap established by the legislature is intended to protect cities, school districts, and other taxpayer-supported organizations from massive payouts. New FDA rules ban the sale of e-cigarettes, pipe tobacco, hookah tobacco, and premium cigars to kids under 18. Karen Gerard with the Oregon Health Authority says those products are made to be tasty and attractive to kids.
What we've seen over the past few years is an explosion in youth use of e-cigarettes and also other tobacco products like hookah and little cigars.
Between 2013 and 15, other tobacco product use among Oregon 8th graders doubled and increased 27% among 11th graders. Gerard says the new rules are a good first step, but more needs to be done to stop kids from smoking. It's 8:22. This look at the news brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones. You're up to date from KPNW.
Wake Up Call Sports on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
So you look at the stat line and you wonder, how did the Toronto Raptors win Game 2 over the Miami Heat? Down by 7, 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. The Raptors not doing too well at the line, missing 12 free throws, shot 4 of 18 from the three-point line. Their stars, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, were combined 16 of 46 from the field. Raptors thanking Jonas Valanciunas, who threw in 11 in the fourth quarter as they get a home win, 96-92. Ties the series up a game apiece heading back to Miami. After time to travel, the Blazers get the Warriors at home tomorrow, down 2-0 at the Moda. Coach Frank Vogel available and, well, no doubt show up on a coaching staff somewhere in the NBA, just not with the Indiana Pacers. Team president Larry Bird said it was time for a new voice and showed him the door. He doesn't think coaches should stick around too long. In his 5.5 years, Vogel got the Pacers to the playoffs 5 times. His perhaps most impressive performance on the Letterman show when he was in 8th grade, spinning a basketball on his finger while he brushed his teeth. NC2A Golf Championships in Eugene. It would be great for both host teams to be there. Oregon women are trying to do what they can. In Baton Rouge, they're currently heading in today's second round in 3rd place. Top 6 from the 18-team field get to move on to the championships here at the Eugene Country Club later in May. NBA Combine, only former Duck Elgin Cook got an invitation. Dylan Brooks and Tyler Dorsey did not. And the Oregon football team got a commit from 3-star running back C.J. Verdell, spurning the likes of Zona, Cal, Utah, Wisconsin, and other schools. And happy 85th to Willie Mays. Wake Up Call Sports brought to you by Max Muscle, where you can get a free nutrition consultation from a certified nutritionist. On Franklin, across from Market of Choice. News time, 8:24.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Good morning and happy Friday to you and yours. If you're headed out in the next few minutes, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies. I am showing a little bit of light fog out there. That should burn off in the next few minutes, as well as a few light sprinkles, but no real accumulation. Otherwise, temps right now look to be in the mid to upper 40s. Light winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10. Now this afternoon, we're looking at partly cloudy skies developing as high pressure starts to move in. That same high pressure will shoot these temps into the upper 70s, if not a few low 80s out there. Winds will also pick up in the afternoon out of the north at 15 to 25. We may see a few gusts up to 30. We're also going to see a few isolated thunderstorms east of the Cascades, but I don't expect them to be able to reach us here in the valley. As we move into your weekend, Saturday looks warm and sunny as the high pressure will move back into the area. But for Sunday, a cold front knocks the temps back into the mid to low 60s, as well as partly cloudy skies. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation, the NBC 16 Weather Center, hoping you have a fantastic day.
This winter, we received more rainfall than in the past 75 years. Severe weather could cause damage to your home's foundation. Ramjack can fix that. Get your free in-home evaluation at ramjackwest.com.
CCB 146906.
It's spring. The birds are singing and the flowers are blooming, but the weather can't quite decide what it's doing. For a comfortable home this season and year-round, make the decision now to talk to the specialists at Beamer Heating and Sheet Metal. They have a range of Lennox heating and cooling systems that can keep your home feeling perfect inside, no matter what's happening outside. And right now, Beamer Heating and Sheet Metal is offering up to a $1,700 rebate or no payments and no interest until 2017 on a qualifying new Lennox system. That's up to a $1,700 rebate on an innovative high-efficiency comfort system that can turn springtime into your time for enjoying perfect comfort. Call the experts at Beamer Heating and Sheet Metal right now, 541-688-5004, for great savings on a new Lennox system. That's 541-688-5004. Or visit them online, www.beamerheating.com. That's BEYMER heating.com.
Why compromise how you want to heat and cool your home? Resolve your heating and cooling issues the way you want by contacting Pacific Air Comfort, your local Carrier factory authorized dealer. Turn to the experts who will listen to your wants and needs for home or business. Their professional staff will listen to you, offering their good, better, and best solutions, addressing your wants and needs using quality Carrier products, making you Pacific Air comfortable. Pacific Air Comfort, quality system design, quality Carrier equipment, quality installation, and outstanding 24/7 service and repairs. Visit PacificAirComfort.com. That's PacificAirComfort.com. Or call 541-342-5300. That's 541-342-5300 to receive Pacific Air Comfort's award-winning service today.
Is your body getting enough protein every day? Try Max Pro at Max Muscle. These protein shakes are packed with protein, very low carbs, and zero sugar. Chocolate malt, strawberry banana smoothie, blueberry, and more. Max Muscle. Try it before you buy it. Franklin Boulevard, across from the Market of Choice.
All right, boys. A 1, a 2.
The Wake Up Call with Holloway and London on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
8:27. Friday go round. And look who's back. Tracktown President Vin Lananna joining us back on the Wake Up Call. Vin, I'm curious because we talked to you earlier in the week and you were in San Francisco. How much of the year are you actually away from Eugene, and how much do you spend here actually in the state of Oregon?
Oh, in the state of Oregon, probably 95%. 95% of my time is spent in Oregon, and probably most of the time, certainly at least the majority of my time is spent in Eugene, probably 75-80%.
Okay, so you're not traveling as much as one would maybe suspect.
No, I'm actually traveling less than I had been traveling the previous 7 or 8 years.
Wow. Well, you almost sound like you're happy about that.
I am very happy about that. I love Oregon and love Eugene.
So we have you back on the show to talk about some tickets. What's going on?
Well, in about 30 minutes, single-day tickets are on sale for the NCAAs. As you know, the event is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the two main portions of the meet will happen on Friday and Saturday on that first weekend in June, or actually the second weekend in June. So those tickets go on sale this morning.
So how much are we looking? How much are the tickets?
Well, the single-day tickets, I think, are $29. The 4-day packages are $100. It's actually, for my money, I would be looking at all 4 days, and for the action, to follow the whole thing, all 4 days. But we're putting them on sale for single-day tickets starting this morning.
Vin, I mean, we're talking about people coming from all over the country, really all over the world to check this event out. Probably motivation for people that are here locally to kind of get a jump on it and get the tickets before they sell out. When do you suspect things are going to be a no-go as far as be able to buy tickets? When do you think it's going to sell out?
Well, the issue is that this year we do have more tickets available because we have Section U, which on the southwest corner, because we're building those for the Olympic trials. So we'll have an extra couple thousand seats. So I think there'll be good seats still available. We probably will sell out of the west grandstands and a good portion of the east, but Section U, which are great seats.
And so when are you suspecting? I mean, are you thinking you think in closer to the event it's going to sell out, or when do you think it's going to be, or no way of knowing?
Yeah, I thought we lost him.
All right.
Oh.
Hopefully trying to reconnect with Vin Lanana, the Tracktown president, who hopefully will be calling back to talk about the NC2As, which, if you don't know, are going to be here darn near close to a decade at Hayward Field. And I kind of one thing I wanted to ask him, if his battery is not completely out, is, I mean, who comes up? I mean, Hayward Field, I've been to the Sacramento location, which pales in comparison. I mean, not even close. I mean, you walk in, you're like, really? This is a championship venue? Curious, who would be, if you're campaigning against Hayward Field, who are you? And, do you have a good argument? We got you back, Vin?
Yes, we lost you. Sorry.
That's okay.
If people want to get tickets, how do they go about doing that?
Go to the Go Ducks website and just follow the prompts for tickets, and they should be able to get tickets pretty easily.
Is there any benefit, you think, to going down to the actual ticket office and not doing it online?
No, I think it's easier to do it online. It's more convenient to do it online. It's faster. But you can go to the ticket office to get them.
Just off the top, without doing any research, who are you thinking is going to be, aside from the Oregon men and women, but who are going to be here athletic wise that are going to be some of the stars that people will be looking at those couple of days
at the NCAAs?
Yeah,
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I will say that aside from the U.S. Olympic team trials, which will happen here also, July 1 through 10, I would say the best meet in the world, pulling out the Olympic Games, is the NCAAs. Every event is great. That is where the majority of our Olympic team gets selected from, is from those athletes who come through the NCAA system. We have a unique system in the United States, and we have this great collegiate programs, and the NCAAs is just a phenomenal athletic event with a great team scoring.
I get a kick out of just walking around campus and walking around that vicinity, because you got people from all over the country and they're all showing their colors, and there's kind of a real, almost similar to what you get when you go to an Olympic Games and you see people all over the world, hoisting their colors.
Well, I think you've got it exactly. I think that the issue is that when you take a look at the Olympic Games, the thing which is most exciting is that people thought to rally around their country. And in this issue, you rally around your school. And figure there are about 200 schools that will be represented. So the competition is fierce. It's the pinnacle of these student athletes' careers in the sport of track and field. And they all get to come to maybe the most venerable site in the United States to go on the stage.
We were talking about this off the air, and we were talking about how, darn near close to a decade, we're going to have the NC2As here at Hayward Field. You've seen some of these other venues. I mentioned Sacramento on the air. I went there, and I'm wondering if I went to the wrong spot because I wanted to see where in Sacramento you would have an event like this. Who's got the best argument to say, okay, Hayward Field was great, but now you need to bring it here?
The places that have hosted it recently have been Sacramento, Des Moines, Arkansas, and I think it's all about what's best for the sport and for the student athletes. And when you think about Hayward Field and just packed stadium, enthusiastic crowds who understand the sport, understand the different events, I don't know that any place can compare. This is the best thing for the sport, and I think that the argument really comes down to perhaps there are people who believe there's a home field advantage, but I believe that the home field advantage is for the sport of track and field.
And of course, you're not biased at all.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Do you think that, though, had it not been for, the fact that Nike founded here in Oregon and the like, were Nike not here and Phil Knight such a huge supporter of not only track and field at the University of Oregon, but athletics in general at the U of O, do you think that it potentially would not have been the case had it not been for that influence?
I think there's no question that founding of Nike here makes Hayward Field a fantastic place, and I could never overstate the importance of Mr. Knight's support for the University of Oregon. But I will say that it goes back to the Bowerman days, even before Nike was around, that Hayward Field was a great place. Think of the people who competed here, whether it was Jerry Tarr or Otis Davis or some of the great Prefontaine. That was before Nike.
Yeah.
And I think that the people in this community have embraced the sport and have carried the sport for 60 years. And so although I think Nike plays a role in it in keeping it going, I do think that it was started with the pioneers like Hayward and Bowerman.
I agree. Out of curiosity, do you know anything about volunteers? Is there an all-call for that? And if somebody wants to volunteer, how do they go about finding out how to get info?
I know lots about volunteers, and we need more. If one goes to the GoTrackTownUSA.com, follow the prompts for volunteers, and you can sign up. We have a fantastic volunteer coordinator, and we promise that every person will be answered, and we definitely need volunteers for both the NCAAs and for the Olympic trials.
What kind of experience and prerequisites, if any? Just need time?
No, you really don't. You know, obviously we prefer people who have some experience in the past in volunteering for various events, but there are so many different jobs, and some require some skills, previous experience, but mostly a good smile, hard work, and enthusiasm.
Very cool. And we're now down to about 25 minutes, 25 minutes away from the tickets going on sale.
That's right.
Vin,
That's right. Go to it now.
Yeah, getting ready for the NC2As and a very busy spring/summer. Thanks so much for the time.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks so much.
Yeah, welcome back. Vin Landana, the Tracktown president, on with the wake-up call at 8:38. Morning.
All right. Well, summer's coming up, and summers can be hard on cars, particularly when the weather gets hot. You got an older car, particularly one that maybe, cooling system is old, starting to get weak. Maybe you've got a radiator that is starting to crack. I mean, anything can go wrong. And the heat, when it gets hot enough, It can do all sorts of things to an older vehicle. And if you're one of those folks that has a problem with their credit because you've been hammered by medical bills or maybe it was student loans, other financial setbacks, know that if things go gunny on your car and you can't get into another one because you just don't have the money set aside to do it because you've been trying to get things paid off, Guarantee Discount Chevrolet has the Good People with Bad Credit program where they can get you in a quality, safe, reliable vehicle in 48 hours or less. And not only will they help you get into a vehicle so you can get on the road and get to work, but also get your credit reestablished. Give them a call, 541-998-2333. That's 541-998-2333. It's Guaranteed Discount Chevrolet.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stocks retreat continues after a big jobs number missed the mark. The Dow down 54 points, the Nasdaq down 27, and the S&P down 9 as Wall Street looks over the Labor Department's employment report for April. Just 160,000 jobs were added. The forecast of economists surveyed by Bloomberg was for 200,000. The jobless rate held steady at 5%, weaker than the forecast of a small drop, but there is some good news for those with jobs. The average wage increased 0.3% from March. Facebook shares are bucking the trend. They're up just 1/3%, even though a federal judge in San Francisco has rejected its request to toss a lawsuit that alleges that its photo tagging feature that uses facial recognition invades users' privacy. Revlon's earnings are getting a makeover. The cosmetics company swung from a year-ago loss to a profit last quarter as sales in its consumer division bounced back. I'm Adrienne Mitchell, Bloomberg.
Join Oregon's supported living program for the 5th annual Mohawk Valley Metric Century, a Pedal for People bike event on May 7th at Armitage Park. They offer 4 routes for riders of all ages at this family-friendly event. Choose a 40K, 60K, 100K, or 100K plus challenge route through the beautiful Mohawk Valley. Finish line festivities include a cheering squad, music, good food, and libations. This ride is a benefit for Oregon's supported living program's unique and inclusive arts and culture program. For more details, visit MohawkValley100K.org or OSLP.org.
Pacific Continental Bank is proud to call the Eugene Springfield area home for more than 40 years. As your local banker, partner, and neighbor, we are committed to the health and sustainability of your business and our community. We know it takes more than a loan or deposit to help you succeed. It takes people who know you, your business, and your community. Who says we can't be more than a bank? Pacific Continental Bank, the right bank. Learn more at therightbank.com. Member FDIC.
Tune in to Real Estate Today, weekdays at 5:30 p.m.
I'm Bob Nelson, co-host of Real Estate Today. Kurt Large and Evergreen Roofing is my go-to company if I need to understand a roofing system, how to maintain the roof, should it be replaced, and if it is to be replaced, what should be done. He is absolutely the expert's expert. Evergreen Roofing is my go-to company.
To find out more about Evergreen Roofing, just go to their website, evergreenroofing.com.
It's only a matter of time. Hard drives will fail. Computers do break. Laptops get lost or stolen. Smartphones get stolen. Your most precious photos, videos, and more can be gone. Poof. Unless you protect your data with iDrive Online Backup. Protect every computer or smartphone you own on one plan from iDrive. Plans start at less than $5 a month. Sign up today. Get 50% off on your first year's plan for a limited time using the promo code RUSH. Can't afford not to. Get iDrive.
Attention homeowners, rates are dropping to another historic low. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, no points, no fees. Even if you refinanced in the last year, we can still probably save you money. Save hundreds or thousands of dollars a year. The only way you can lose money is not to call Westland Financial. Call us at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669.
Licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equalizing lender.
If just one step could change the future of diabetes, why wouldn't you step out? Join us at Step Out, Walk to Stop Diabetes. Bring your friends, family, and coworkers to walk with thousands of people across the country and help us make a difference. Together we can stop diabetes. Register today at diabetes.org/stepout or call 1-888-DIABETES. Let's change the future, one step at a time.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Good morning. If you're headed out that door in the next few minutes, we have mostly cloudy skies out there. Temps right now are in the mid to upper 40s with light winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10. I am tracking a few light sprinkles on the radar, but I don't expect any real accumulation. Now, as we move through the day, high pressure will start to move into the area. That'll give us partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Highs much warmer, shooting into the upper 70s, if not low 80s out there. Be prepared for a warm afternoon. Now, we are tracking storms late this afternoon across the Cascades, but I don't expect them to be able to reach us here in the valley. Most of the energy will be contained to the east side of the mountains. As we move into your weekend, we're looking at mostly sunny skies and warm temps through your Saturday, but a weak cold front will bring cooler temps and partly cloudy skies back to the region on Sunday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation, the NBC 16 Weather Center, hoping you have a fantastic Friday.
Mornings are a little different with a wake-up call.
No, it's a very odd show.
Holloway in London on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
844 News Radio 1120 KPNW. So we got crazy, wacky weekend with Mother's Day on Sunday. A new survey found out that, they asked moms what kind of food they want on Mother's Day. So if you can eat anything, what would you want to eat, Mom? And the resounding number one response, what do you think it was? Not even close.
What do you want to eat, Mom?
Yeah. What?
What was the question you just asked?
What kind of food do you think the moms wanted to eat?
Yeah, okay, that's what I said. What do you want to eat, Mom? What does Mom want to eat?
It wasn't salad.
Was it chicken?
Salad was 9th with 1%. Chicken was 5th.
I'm getting closer.
9%. A buffet was just above chicken. 12%. Steak was 3rd.
Go moms who like steak.
Italian, Mexican, sushi, Greek, or anything that was international was 2nd. Without a doubt, number one, almost a quarter, 26%. Huh?
Hamburgers?
Seafood.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, what you should do.
Take her to Dead Lobster.
Take her to an Oregon Coast restaurant. Hit Newport or Florence, Yachts. And they're going to be busy too. They're going to have long lines. They're going to be crazy busy. But you're probably going to be right there on the Oregon coast, and you can probably have a view or somewhere to sit there and spend the hopefully just half hour that you have to wait. You had an endorsement, I think, earlier in the week for crab.
Oh yeah, just take Mom to Crab. South Beach down there in south end of Newport. Yeah, take her to Crab.
And we don't think it's actually called crab, but it should be
called crab because they just have the huge crab sign out front. And they do have fresh crab. And I mean like fresh off the boat, still alive when they drop them in the boiling water. Crabs. And shrimp and oysters and smoked salmon and salmon that's not smoked and salmon you can eat. And it's wonderful. I love that place. I go anytime I go and I'm anywhere near Newport, I go there.
Hole in the wall-ish?
Oh, it's a total dive. It looks like a complete dive. There's nothing about it where you go, hey, this will be a nice romantic place to take a date. No, I mean, it's attached to a convenience store. I mean, there is nothing about this place that says, high class at all. And that's what's appealing about it. It's a dive that has great food. And it's fish, period. It's fish or seafood. I take that back. There's also fries and coleslaw. Other than that, but is there anything else in life, really?
Ice cold beer or a Coke or iced tea?
No, you can get it. No, they don't have beer.
No beer.
No, unless I don't know if you go over to the convenience store and buy a beer, whether you can actually eat it and drink it in there or not. I've never seen anybody do that. So I'm tempted to say probably you can't.
Have we talked about this? Have you been over to the Blair Fish Market here in Eugene?
Yeah.
that thumbs up on that place.
Yep.
I think people think, oh, it's just like fish market. You just go there for the fish. No, you can get
it has the
you can
same,
get lunch there.
Crab has that same sort of, kind of.
You can walk in with your shrimp boots and you feel right at home.
I'll just say the same kind of rattiness about it, and I say that in a good way, So yeah, take mom there. Hey, by the way, the MS Walk is happening this weekend. Jeff Galton, our sales manager, is going to be out there, and he is, I guess, going to MC the thing. So that's going to be the one that's at Alton Baker Park. We were going to talk to somebody about that, and apparently we can't get a hold of them. So we're going to throw the love out here.
I have a feeling they are working tirelessly to put on the event.
So it's coming up tomorrow, Alton Baker Park. That's 100 Day Island Road in Eugene. It opens at 9. They have the opening ceremony at 10 a.m. And you can register, I guess, on site, or you can register online. And it's a fun event. And it's, there's a couple of things. One, actually 3 things. It's, in support of folks that have MS and their families and the folks that are dealing with it. Number 2, it's to raise awareness about MS and the need for ongoing research. And third, and I don't know, you can say this is the most important reason. Maybe you think just the awareness is more important. But it's a fundraiser to try and, continue with cutting-edge research and trying to figure out a way to cure it, to control it. It's a free event, but they encourage anyone or everyone to give a little bit of a donation, and that's a big part of the reason they're doing it is for donation. So
they've had great weather.
Oh yeah.
Last weather was beautiful. Tomorrow's going to be equally as warm. Hey, it's a great day to take a stroll and help and support MS. And the battle against. Also happening later in the day tomorrow, the Mr. Eagle pageant, Harrisburg High, to raise money for CMN. I'll be out there. Going to be at the Life Bible Church on Peoria Road.
Peoria.
And it's not going to be at the high school. So if you think it's at the high school, erase that. It's going to be at Life Bible Church tomorrow, about 4 o'clock is when we're getting underway. So should be a lot of fun.
And where's that going to be again? What town?
In Harrisburg?
Harrisburg? Yeah, Peoria Road.
Out there.
I know where. Okay, I know exactly where that's at. That's just before, if you're coming in on Peoria Road from Corvallis, I believe that's just before you get to that kind of weird intersection where you have to go left or right. And if you're coming from the Eugene area, it's the last intersection as you're going through town, and you either kind of bend off to the right, or you have to take the hard left, and I believe it's the hard left and just around the bend there.
We'll find out. I'll report and let you know Monday. Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Bill is going to be looking for in the need for hugs today.
Come on.
First Mom's Day.
Without Mom. That's weird. Our engineer was commenting yesterday. He goes, yeah, the first one is that's the worst. I was like, gee.
Thanks for the pick-me-up.
Thanks, yeah. Appreciate that.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you
so much for checking us out. We'll be there for you Monday, 6:05, right here on 1120 KPNW.
The best window sale in Oregon just keeps getting better.
Discount windows, Vinyl 99 sale.
Thousands of overstock windows on site, including Ply Gem windows.
Factory first.